I want to... I'm trying to make sure I can see this on the tube of Y. Home? No. My son had this up for me earlier. I don't know if that's the right one or not. He said he's coming down so I can make sure. Holy cow. Welcome in, everybody. Right now, I am trying to see. I know it says I'm live. Maybe I gotta refresh. There it is. I found it. I found it, guys. Okay. And my music decides to pick this moment to say, F you, Erica. Yeah, Sam will be down. He'll be down. He wanted to check in. But really, that was just my ploy to get him down here so I can get him on camera. This is going to bug me a little bit because I've got my computer up so I can see YouTube, but I can't see the chat on Whatnot unless I'm right behind my camera. And my alarm is going to keep going off because I'm supposed to shut a light off downstairs. So today we're doing the fob tutorial again. And right now I am trying to see what's up, Wuzzle. Hi, Cajun Heart, Lucy Lou, Susie, Cheryl, Bonnie, JD, Olsons, Mama, Denise, Nilla Gorilla. You guys, I'm going to co-host Nilla Gorilla. He's got to accept the idea of this. Hey, how are you? Welcome in.
I'm here. Can't complain.
Say hi to everybody.
How's it going, everyone?
Okay, now tell them what we're doing.
We're making key fobs, and
I
don't know how to do this.
So the idea was that he came up with this idea that he thought it would be really cool to see if someone who has never done this before, how easily it is to follow along. And if this works out well, we're probably going to end up co-hosting him again for other tutorials. So I think that'll be super fun. I did put in the show notes that there's some other people on here that I know have been struggling to get their followers up on the Tube of Y, so that they can do similar things. We've got a raid trade coming up. It's a demo raid train that's coming up on the 24th. And it's going to be all kinds of people demonstrating how to do a somewhat quick project. And then they are going to possibly sell or auction off or use it as a giveaway, whatever they've made during that tutorial. So that's coming up on the 24th. And I want them to be able to stream theirs on the Tube of Y as well. So a few of them might be stopping in a little bit later on. And then I will co-host them for a few minutes so that they can plug their channel so we can get their followers up, because they're struggling to get followers up. And they need 50 people, you guys. So they're supposed to be stopping in later. So right now, we're good to go. Hold on. Come here, Sammy.
Hi.
This is my Sammy. Sammy is my hero. Sammy helped me to make sure I was able to do this on the Tube of Y. Everyone's saying hi. Hi. Grandma says hi as well.
Hi, Grandma.
So Sammy's my hero.
Little camera shy hero.
A little camera shy, but we got him on camera anyways. So Mama says hi, Sam. Okay, so if you guys are just coming in, up in the show notes, if you open up the show notes, It has like the basic rundown of what we're doing, why we're co-hosting Nilla Gorilla today, and then also the basic formula for the key fob materials that you're going to need. So I use a standard of a 12-inch strip, but you can make them longer or shorter. That's totally up to you. But as far as the batting and the fabric, the batting is always going to be double the width of the hardware. And then the fabric is going to be double the width of the hardware plus an inch. You can go bigger if you want, if it's easier for you, but I don't recommend going that much smaller, because then it's harder to fold these pieces in and make sure you don't have any raw edges. So, all right. Noah Gorilla, what is your first name so I can call you that instead of Gorilla?
Josh.
Josh. Okay. So first what we're going to do you have your materials ready?
Yes.
Yes. You sound like Megan. Yes. um, so usually what we would do is we would take our fabric and we would put our batting down in the center of that. And then we would just fold the fabric over like this. And the batting is going to want to act as kind of like a Velcro for you. So it should help to hold that fabric in place as you stick it down like this. And then we're going to give it a quick press.
It's so
So
bright.
I'm
if
sorry.
you want to try and do that, I've got my little mini iron set up here, but I'm actually going to offset mine because I want the selvage of this fabric to be. Do you see how hard that is? Because there's not very much there. It's just easier to have the extra. So that's why I say an inch extra. And I'm just going to give this
Oh,
a press.
I found the other camera.
What's that?
I found the other camera.
Whoop whoop.
It's burning.
There you go. What's everyone saying in chat? Don't fret, I'm here. Megan, I wish I could co-host you too. This would be super fun. So like I said, you want to try and center it. If you have like a specific design on the fabric, you can always try and situate the batting so that when you fold it in half, that design is going to show well. I am going way off center because I want to try and get this selvage information on the key fob itself because I think it's fun. So I have a wool iron mat that is nice because I can just keep it right next to my sewing machine. So right now, I don't know if you want to just follow along on the first one and then like start working on the second one, or if you want to try and do it right off the get-go. Totally
I
up to you.
want to follow along and try at the same time. I will not
Do
keep
it.
up. That's all right.
No, I'll go slow. I'll wait for you. We can always
Because I
ramble.
have watched you do one before.
Yep. I've also got little pins if it helps you like hold stuff in place, but I've got the pins set aside for something else. You can also use these little sewing clips if you want to make sure everything's held in place when you get over to your sewing machine. I'll wait for
I'm
you.
still trying to figure out how I want to do this. You go ahead. Knock out that first one. I'm following along.
Okay. Hey,
I
that's
don't know
some
if I want to go like
super.
straight or if I want to make it weird.
That is some super nice fabric you have there. I don't know if I cut that
It
down to
sure
size
is.
for you. I just gave you the whole piece of what I had. That wasn't cut down to
Well,
size.
if it's supposed to be that big, yeah, it's not. It's a little big.
That's a little bit big. I would cut that down so you're not wasting it. I'd cut it down to about 3.5 inches wide.
I'll have to talk to my mom and see if she'll let me use scissors. Oh
Decisions,
no!
decisions.
You
No,
take that out.
I'm the whole point of me doing this wuzzle was to try and use up some scraps, is why I started making key fobs. So for an 1.25 inch hardware, which is what I'm using today, um, the batting should be double the width of the hardware, so that would be 2.5 inches. And then the fabric, that's super wasteful if you're gonna do that. I'm just telling you. I
It
would go
is.
straight.
I'm just. I can't make up my mind.
I know, it's just really, really expensive and super hard to find.
It is.
So
Yes, it
Wuzzle
is.
also
Trust me. There's gonna be tears shed when I cut it.
So, Wuzzle, the width of the fabric only needs to be like you can
Put that in
use
there.
if this is going to be 1.25 inch hardware, you could actually use up to 5 inches of fabric, but it's super wasteful because if it's expensive fabric, then that's going to be a whole lot of fabric just folded up inside that you'll never see. So I always say a minimum of double the width of the hardware plus 1 inch because that gives you a 1/2 inch to fold in on either side of the batting, like this. My strips are actually 4 inches, but 3.5 is sufficient. But that gives you ample fabric to fold in on each side. Now, if you went 5 inches, then it would go all the way into the center, but that's just the point is to use as little as possible. I like using up scraps. So that was how I started making key fobs. My cousin is learning. Hi, Logan. Maybe
If
practice with a less expensive fabric first. I don't know about that. I think he likes to live dangerously. We're getting learnt.
we're getting scared, is what we're getting.
Blank for a second. I've got to shut off an alarm. Give me just a second. All right, I'm back.
Ready.
You let me know when you are ready. I'm going to move my phone over. So far, so good. You're doing all right. I'm going to put you in here. Don't mess up that sewing. Logan says, don't mess up that sewing machine. I swear.
Well, I couldn't get the other one to work.
Plug my phone in. Plug my phone
I
in
don't know
so I
if you
can
know about
dial
that or
it.
not, but we got a vintage sewing machine for free 99.
For free 99?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm wondering why my volume seems to be down. Maybe your volume is down. You sound muffled. Does he sound muffled to anybody else?
No one will
Maybe
ever
he's just
say
not
yes
right
to
next
that.
to the. No? So strange.
I can come closer and whisper.
Not creepy at all. I'm actually going to take the case off my phone. Maybe it's because I have it plugged in. Give me just a second. It's going to look crazy for a second, guys. I don't typically sew with shoes on either. So I just got my sockies on. All right, let's see if this is any better. Talk to me, Goose.
Sounds good to me.
No, see, it still sounds muffled to me. I wonder why. All right. Lady of the North and the Gentleman of the South. I like it. Maybe my internet connection? I don't know. I'm using the internet on my phone. I never connect to the Wi-Fi because the boys are always streaming. And I feel like it slows me down, so I've just gotten used to using my phone and that's it. All right, you guys. He's getting ready, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how I work on these. So, we are going to start I always start in the center. When I sew my fobs. And the reason for that is because when I put the hardware on, those little tails from the thread, even though I cut them down, if I started on the end, those little tiny tails would be sticking out the edge of the hardware, and I just don't like the way that looks. So I always start in the center, and then you're going to stitch as close to the edge as you can, or as close to the edge as you're comfortable with. And you want to make sure you're getting through all the layers, and I'm just barely going to miss it right there, so I'm going to push it over a little bit. And then I'm going to sew down the edge. I'm trying to
We
read
both
the
have
chat as
our
well. I've
own
got the
theme
phone
music.
like right up in my face. All right.
Well, I can tell you right now, there's no chance of me reading the chat.
Logan says, hurry it up.
Listen here. Can't rush perfection.
That's right. No hurry. I'll be going over this at least 4 to 6 times. So I am just sewing down this edge, and I'm making sure my edges line up pretty well over here on the side. You can use whatever color thread you want. I am doing multiple key fobs with multiple different fabrics, so my way around having matching thread is to use this. It's Aurifil, but the color is Dove. The color number is 2600, and it's like a super pale gray, almost white, but it tends to like almost take on the colors of the fabric that's underneath it. I made the 4-inch in your kit. Oh, yeah. I mean, when you're cutting your own fabric, you can go as low as 3.5. My kits are just 4 because I had a bunch of 4-inch strips, and then that's what everyone was used to, so I just kept going with that. So yeah, there's no right or wrong way to do this. And if there's some little tiny imperfections, who cares? You made it yourself. Use white no matter what. Too cheap to buy the colored. What's the good thing about Aurifil is it's all expensive. So it doesn't really matter what color I use. Unless I get like a variegated, then that's expensive. The variegated are definitely more. So I go down to the end, and then I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to stitch down to the end. And really, that would be all you have to do is just stitch around the perimeter of these. But I like to add extra lines of quilting. And I just kind of hold my fingers over the top and let the machine just pull it through. But by holding my fingers over, if there's any like bump or wrinkle in the batting in between the layers, I can feel it and I can kind of flatten it out before it gets stitched down. You see how I'm not really doing anything, I'm just letting the machine take it. And I know that probably takes some practice for people, but when you do a few, like when you've done 3 or 4, it goes so easy. And then that could be it. That could be all you guys have to do. But I like to add extra lines of stitching because that's just how I like to do it. You can add like a fancy stitch going down the center, or if you want to like quilt it in like a little diamond pattern or something, you're welcome to do that too. It's whatever is going to be fun for you. Hello, kitty feet.
Yeah, extra co-host you didn't even want.
Ah.
See, look,
Cat alert.
she's trying to put a little cat hair in there. Cat hair don't care.
Come here, baby. You want to go in the box?
It really does sound muffled to me. I'm wondering what happened. Because you sounded fine for a bit, and then all of a sudden I moved my phone, and then it sounded muffled. So I'm going to do the stitching down the center. So I'm just kind of eyeballing with my ruler, trying to get it as exact as possible. But I'm going to stitch down the center, and then I'm going to come back up this side and back down this side. Because that's just how I like to do it. And again, I'm just holding my ruler in place. Nifty little trick that I learned. It might not be perfectly centered, but it should keep the stitching straight, which to me makes a big difference. You don't have any zigzaggy stitching. I know it measured correctly, but now it just looks off. It's probably just my eyeballs.
I think so, yes. Double check.
It is going a little off. We're going to try and shift this over a little bit. Just by nudging it. Give it a little nudge.
When you're meeting your two edges, do you fold one under?
Hammer down. And then when I get to the end, I'm going to turn it. Ah! Not to touch the fabric anymore.
Nobody say that. Don't be
No.
lying.
No. I was telling them how you told me I can't use the rotary anymore.
See, I can't hear you.
No.
You sound like you're so far away. So I'm stitching a little bit more. But he sounds fine to everybody else, huh? Doesn't sound muffled at all. He sounds fine to you guys? Yeah? What the heck? I wonder what's going on. All right, so I'm going to do another line of stitching down here, and then I'm going to do another line of stitching down the other side as well. And then I'm going to turn it so I can be centered over here. Let's see if that looks centered. That's a little bit off. I'm going to go, there we go. I'm stitching by looking at my phone. And then we're going to cut that. So here's what it looks like. And if you have a Josh left. Bye, Josh. Oh my goodness. Sabrina, you're awful. I love it. I love it.
Sabrina said, "So you've got 45 people judging you."
See, just made it flat. I'm still here.
It looks wonderful.
Yay!
It's okay, Josh.
Beautiful. She
It's
said it's
okay.
beautiful.
I'm gonna do a bunch of them. Caress the fabric. He's doing a good job. So this is the point when you get the strap actually sewn, then you get to decide, do I like the way this side looks or do I like the way this side looks? And I wanted to show the selvage, so I'm going to fold this in half.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Tula might have some selvage on it,
Maybe.
just to show it off.
Yeah, that's always what I like to do. It's fun. See, this will show perfectly right here, right where the fold is. And then again, I'm going to start stitching right in the center. And it doesn't matter how close to the edge you stitch on this, as long as it's not beyond maybe a little over a quarter of an inch. You just want the stitching to be hidden behind the hardware when you put the hardware on. So I start in the middle, and then I'm going to back it up until I until I hit the outside edge of that. And then I'm going to sew forward till I hit over that edge, and then I'm going to back up again close to the center. And this does not matter how the stitching looks. Nobody's judging because it's all going to be hidden inside that hardware. So you don't have to worry about that. Then I'm going to trim off those threads real quick. And I am going to move you guys over. Vanilla Gorilla is back. How you doing, buddy?
I haven't sewn my fingers together. We're doing good.
That's a win. All right, I'm going to move you guys over here. All right, here we
I'm
are.
gonna come over there. We're gonna try.
The tension and stitch length is whatever my machine was set up with. Just the basic, nothing special. I think my stitch length is a standard 2.5. And then the tension, I can't tell you what the tension is. It's whatever my machine was set up with when I got it. All right, so we're gonna put some hardware on this one.
Let me do it again.
No. So this is my hardware. I really wish I could hear you better.
I'll come in closer. And I'm gonna blow everybody else's eardrums out though. Oh
2.5
my wiggle.
tension is probably a 3. That's what mine is usually. Yeah, I would imagine it would vary from machine to machine. So now I'm going to put this hardware inside my pliers. These are glass breaking pliers. You can order these online. I do have a couple of sets in my bin. But when you order these, you want to make sure you get ones that are flat across on the insides here. And some of them can be like curved. And then like this one will be curved up and then this one will be curved down so that they nest inside each other. But you don't want those because it's going to dent your hardware if you use those. That's right. So I got these. These ones are 8-inch, but I do have a couple in my bin that are 6-inch. They're lighter weight. They're just a little bit shorter, but it's the exact same thing. And they're not quite as chunky as these ones are, but they work just the same. And these are like little rubberized grips so that they don't scratch up the hardware. If you don't have these and you're not sure if you want to buy them just to try it out, because maybe you won't like it, you can also use like a pair of pliers that you have at home, but you got to watch out and make sure that you put like a piece of batting or a piece of fabric in between because they usually have like little grippy teeth in there and that will scratch up the hardware. So just put something in it to protect the hardware. So I put my hardware in here and I try to make sure it's somewhat level because if it's in like this, it's going to squish the top over, or if it's in like this, it's going to squish the bottom over and you're going to have like wonky looking, it won't be flat. It's going to be like this.
Bite it. That's right, Sabrina. Just bite it. Ah!
You can use vice grips. You really can. Or if you have like super strong thighs, maybe that would work. So then I'm going to decide what I want the front of this to be. And when I put my fabric into the hardware, I slide it in from the side. And the reason for that is there's these pointy little pokey teeth here. And I don't want the fabric to catch on that because sometimes it pushes the fabric out and then it's not gripped. When you squish it down, this is supposed to claw into the fabric and kind of squash down on it. So I slide it in from the side to make sure. And then if I can do this. And then I put my fingers on the outside to make sure it's centered and I squash it down about halfway. And that way you can double check, make sure it's centered, make sure it's not like off to the side because a lot of times it'll just kind of go wonky on you. But you can just like adjust it and get it in the right spot. And then you can squish it down the rest of the way.
Squish it.
Like this. Just like that. And now the hardware isn't dented up, it's not scratched up. Those teeth are clawing into the fabric really well. And we have a finished fob.
Look, she finished
Yours
one and
is
yours
finished
is
and mine
ironing.
started. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that, Peanut Gallery.
So now we've got one done. So we're going to use this as a giveaway. And I'm going to my shop. Where's my giveaways at? I know I got a bunch in here. So this is for anybody. This is for anybody.
Is
there
there power to the sewing machine? I got your power, by God.
I'm going to get another one going. And then maybe he'll be ready to... Oh, see? He's sewing. Start in the middle. Start in the middle. So it'll hide those little threads. So the giveaway is going. We just made a key fob, you guys.
Eh?
And I am streaming on the Tube of Y. So you guys will be able to go back through afterwards. I put my handle up in the show notes. And I'm hoping some other people are going to be popping in so that I can co-host them for a few minutes so that they can give their channels a little boost here and maybe we can get some more followers for them or subscribers, whatever they want to call it. Because they want to be able to do demos and tutorials as well and then have those visible for people to go back and watch at their own convenience as well. And I know some of them have been struggling to get their numbers up, and I think this would be a great way. Everybody here wants to learn how to do something, so we should definitely give them the boost so that they can show us how to make something else because why not? It's all about support. And if they're having a hard time doing it, who? I know Kinetic Lace, I believe, wanted to stop in. I know Faithful Treasure wanted to stop in. And I think Draz was planning on popping over as well. You okay, Josh?
So far,
So far?
maybe, possibly. We'll
Have you
find
got
out in the
wifey
end.
there to tell you how to?
Not really.
Is it like manual to put your presser foot down? Like a little lever you gotta pull?
Yeah, we're very low tech here.
Do you have the little addition that goes on over that so he has a little bit bigger of a workspace?
Yeah.
No,
No.
no.
No, you don't have the little table that goes on it. Usually comes with like a little boxed in area.
It disappeared when we moved.
We gonna make it work with
Oh.
that.
What you doing,
You
buddy?
got this.
You want the folded? You want to start in the center on the end? Josh, you want to start like in the center on the end like here and then stitch down to the outside edge where the folds are? Because the first side you want to stitch down is where those two folded pieces come together.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah. So if you start in the center with your fob going out this way, turn your work, my sweet. Start with it sideways from the presser foot. You've got it going into the presser foot. You want it looking like it's going off. Yep. And start in the center and stitch toward that edge. And then
Oh,
when
we've
you
already
get to
done
the
that.
corner, turn it like you had it.
Ah. Okay.
Yep, just like that.
We'll just restick it.
Yeah, you started.
We've got a minute and a half left on this giveaway, you guys. While this is going, I'm going to get another one started. And I'll keep an eye on Josh.
You need
Beefy, are
to.
you there to keep an eye on him?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Atta girl.
All right, lift up,
I'm just giving this a quick press.
and now you can turn that.
And this one is actually a sateen.
Next time we even need
Using up
the
some bag
needle.
scraps here. Yeah, just go nice and slow.
Man, this tail's different than that other one.
You're doing fine. So again, the hardware that we're using, if you guys are just coming in, the hardware is 1 1/4 inches wide. I should show it. It's 1 1/4 inches wide. And so when you're using batting, like not everybody uses batting, but I always do because I like that quilted feel to it. You're doing so good. The batting is going to be double the width of the hardware. So because this is 1 1/4 inch, my batting is going to be 2 1/2 inches. And then the fabric is going to be double the width of the hardware. Plus, I always like to give it at least an inch. So you have enough fabric on the outside edge to fold in, and then we'll hide the raw edges that way when this gets sewn together. The length I use is standard 12 inches. That gives you a good opening. So snappy. So snappy. You want to keep a woohoo. Yes, when you get to the end, make sure your needle is down so when you pick your presser foot up to turn it, the needle stays in the same place. Good tips, Mom. So snappy, I'm gonna get a little packy pack for that. And I should get a little sticker. Snappy, this is coming to you, Robin. And I have these cutesy little cellophane sleeves to keep them clean.
Doing such a good job. You're such a good boy.
Bam! And I want to put a little sticker on there with your name on it. We all forget stuff. I know I certainly do.
Sabrina says, Joshy, we are so proud.
I'm so proud too.
Look at you go.
There we go. That's coming to you, Robin. So cute. Trying to find a way to ship the jelly roll rugs This way you can sell them. Wuzzle, they have mailer tubes over at like I think you can order them for the priority. I don't believe it's a flat rate, but they do have like these long, they're triangular tubes that you can get. Otherwise, I would suggest just getting like a regular box. You can always fold them in half and then kind of roll them and just use one of the regular boxes that you would use. Because most people, when they get them anyways, they're going to give it a quick press. It's not a flat rate and it is free on the site. That's correct. I'm not sure how big the jelly roll rugs are that you're talking about though. If you're talking about just like a 40 piece jelly roll or 42 piece, then great job, Josh.
I'm working on.
He's doing good.
That's gonna be so good. But Wuzzle, you can also just take and fold them in half and then kind of give them like a loose.
Lucas says, how does it feel? Are you feeling accomplished yet?
Heck yeah. Always feel accomplished.
I love reading the chat. Josh Logan says, how does it feel? Feeling accomplished? Yes. Confident? Question mark.
Always.
I was nervous for him, and he was like, it's fine. Like, I had a tummy ache. I was so nervous.
He's doing great, though.
Just
You just got to go slow when you first start out. And, you know, once you get used to the machine and, like, what does what, and you do a couple, it's so much easier. Your confidence builds super quick with an easy project like this. Yeah, don't worry about trying to keep up. This is your first time using a sewing machine, yeah?
More or less.
Doing something like this, yes. I made like a little itty bitty pillow one time, and I think in 8th grade or something
that's
like
awesome.
Yeah, I don't think 8th grade pillows really count.
Not really. Well, I'm not gonna count them.
Turn the music down a little bit. Not that it's loud, but
Not going quite that far. Whatever.
You can go backwards.
I won't go backwards.
Well, don't go backwards.
Backing up's weird.
You can't do it unless you got your foot down.
I find it easiest to stitch when I come back around. I stitch down the center, and then I can try and eyeball my stitches and my spacing when I go back up in between.
You counted last time I watched you count.
What's that?
In your last tutorial, I watched you count. You counted like I think it was 3 stitches each time.
Yeah, well, yes, I did, but that was because I know the stitch length on my machine, and I've done enough of these that I have a good idea on how many stitches I need to go the distance I need to. I use my machine all the time. So
this is the first time I've ever used this machine that I know of.
Right? Well, you're doing pretty good.
That one in high school, that thing was a brute. It would kill you.
Yep, I think it was the one in high school that my sister stitched to her thumb. Turned my other sister off completely from sewing ever. So I went over the dimensions of the fabric and the batting again. Hi, Talon. And then I just fold these over, fold the edges of the fabric over onto the batting and give it a quick press. And then I'm going to fold this in half again. And I'm going to line these edges up over here on the side. And just kind of line it up as I go.
Get a little wobble going there.
Yeah. It's drunk.
Good, because those seams were so straight, I was getting a little jealous.
The length, you can do 11 inches. I typically do 12 because on a 12-inch fob, most people's hands will fit easily into it. Like this is only a 1-inch piece of hardware, but I still did the standard 12 inches. My hands aren't tiny, but they're not huge either. Some people just have bigger hands. So I would say for most people, a 12-inch length is more than enough. Like I can spread my fingers out quite a bit. There's more than enough room in this. But if you know you want to make some for people with larger hands, you can always go to like 13 or 14 inches. I actually made a few little stubby ones, and I think I gave them away on my sister's show. I think I gave them away on my sister's show because it was fun and she needed some cute giveaways. So 12 inch is my standard. But again, you can go as long or as short as you want them. Yes, I did, Jean. I found a bunch of other places that I can get them, but when I find a specific shop that I can get them from where I like the quality of the hardware, because it's easy enough to find like a really good deal on the hardware anywhere. But the quality isn't always the same. I found some that I can take my hand and just squish them. They're so weak. And I wouldn't want to chance putting anything like my house key or my vehicle keys. Look at that. That looks so good. So good.
Yay!
Woo woo.
We're not gonna look at this
Now,
little part right here. Just ignore that.
is it coming apart?
No,
No. Oh,
it's where they kind of ran in together.
oh, okay. No, that looks great though. So now what you want to decide is what side you want to be the outside of the fob.
There's
And then
more
you're just
bats on
gonna
that side.
line the ends up. All depends on what side you like the looks of the best. Usually because of the print placement.
Chopping Z.
Did you bring some sort of pliers over here?
No, I did not.
There we go.
Did you have
And I'm gonna move you guys over to my sewing machine. Try not to get you
You're
guys
going
dizzy.
for gold. Or what is that, brass?
No, I thought that brass would look good with that. What do y'all think? Tell me, chat.
Is that 1.25 inches?
It's one of those shoe cases.
Oh, I'm just trying to figure out if I want that color. I kind of like it.
Just make sure the hardware is the right width. Is that 1 inch or 1 1/4? Because you made your strap for 1 1/4 inches.
Lord
Right?
have mercy.
What are we gonna do with here?
You can do it if you want, but then you might have raw edges sticking out through the ends of the hardware is all. It does look rose gold to me too, but
One bigger.
I
okay.
think so. Nope. Same size.
Don't forget to sew your ends closed. Okay, so I'm bringing mine back over to my sewing machine and I'm going to start again in the center, like this. And I'm just going to stitch as close to the end as I can get it.
That's bigger.
That is really close. It almost went off. So I'm just going to push it just a tiny bit so we can get back on track.
Yeet.
Don't forget to sew your ends together. All right, so now I'm just going to go as close to the outside edge as I can. If you guys are newer to sewing and this is like one of the first projects you're going to do, and you're still working on like straight lines and all that stuff, you can go into 1/4 inch. As long as you know you're going to hit through all of these layers and it's secure. So I'm just going to do quick stitch down the sides. I'm reading the chat, you guys.
For the fob. No, she would only want wormy.
Throw the fob. My cat always used to love one of those plastic grocery bags. I'd tie it up, like twist it and tie it into a knot, and then she liked the crinkly noise, but by tying it into a knot, it would throw pretty far, and she'd always bring it back like she was a dog. All right, so now I stitch
That's
the
what
other
ours
end.
does. She has these little, I don't know, they're little fuzzy like worm things, and she just makes me throw it down the hallway all day.
Whatever makes him happy. So now again, I'm just coming down the other side and I'm stitching as close to the outside edge as I can. And I'm not like putting any pressure on this hand. I'm just making sure there's no bumps or anything in the batting, but I'm just holding everything straight and letting the machine feed the fabric and everything through itself. And I don't feel any wrinkles or anything. So now I'm going to turn my work and go to the center. That should be close right there. Another stitch. Where's my little ruler? Right there. And I'm just making sure I'm kind of centered because I like to stitch down the center. I need to go back a little bit. Think that's pretty good. I think my stitch plate, I usually try to use the lines on my stitch plate because it has the measurements on both sides, but I feel like my stitch plate is just like the tiniest bit over to the right. And so it never measures quite right for me, so I have to like eyeball it or use my little ruler. Josh,
Lord
did you
have
sew your
mercy,
ends
look how
closed?
fast he's going. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Nice. Yes, I love your fabric choice too. It's very nice. You
She
must
said
have
we
an
got it from
exceptional
someone
wife if she was
awesome,
able to get that for you.
right?
We won't talk about how sneaky she was with that.
I will totally talk about how sneaky she was. You guys, she reached out to me. He had reached out to me because he saw that my mom had won this key fob, and he absolutely fell in love with the print. And it was the one with the death moths on it. It's called Venus, and it's from the Tula Pink De La Luna collection. And it was a really hard to find colorway. That's the print right there. And he reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, I really love to get some of that. I absolutely love that fabric, blah, blah, blah." And then I felt bad because his wife had reached out to me, Beachy, and she was like, "Hey, our anniversary's coming up. I'd really like to surprise him. He absolutely loves that fabric." And so then I felt bad, but for over a week I had to pretty much just like blow him off and pretend I didn't know he had the message because I knew he was hunting for it. But I couldn't talk to him because I probably would have lied. I couldn't have lied to him. I would have felt so bad lying to him. So I was just like, "Oh, I'll just pretend I haven't seen it yet." And so then he got his package and there was some extras in there and
She
he
even
likes what
asked
he
me,
got.
she's like, did Maniac reply? And I was like, not yet. She tried to get you in trouble.
Hey,
It was a
I was just playing
conspiracy.
along.
Secretly make you happy while you're getting grumpy. It's always the best way to do it.
That's typically how I do things.
What's that?
I That's how I do things. Make him grumpy while also, secretly planning to
Right.
surprise him and make him
Yeah,
excited.
and then he feels like a butt when when he realizes
Yeah.
that you were
Yeah,
plotting for him the whole time.
fabric romance.
New here. What are we
She said
making? We are
fabric romance.
making
Sabrina
key
said fabric
fobs.
romance, y'all. I married wrong.
Okay. So again, once you've stitched down the ends and then the outside edges, you're welcome to just leave it at that. You don't have to do anything extra. You can do some fancy stitching down the center. I like to add in extra lines. You can embroider someone's name or any of that. That's all totally up to you. Um, I just like
That's Nick
the
for
way the
you,
lines
Josh.
look. You can do some fancy quilting pattern. Again, that's all 100% up to you. So I have got my strap stitched, and I'm just gonna trim up the threads on the end real quick. And this is the part that you would decide what you want the outside of the strap to be. And I feel like this side just has too much dark on it. This side has a lot more color and it's a lot more vibrant, so I'm going to use that as the outside. And so I'm going to fold this in half. Oh my goodness. That sounds fun though. Yes, this is a K fabric. This is actually a 108 cotton sateen. So this is the wide backing, and I had some scraps left over from a bag that I cut out to work on next. And so this is the sateen, but there is a cotton, well, like a regular quilt cotton version of it, but this is called Millifoy. If I said that correctly, who knows? Um, and then now I'm going to stitch the ends shut,
Oh,
like sew the ends together. And I always start in the middle so that when I trim my threads up at the end, those little threads are going to be hidden inside of the, they're going to be hidden inside of the fabric, the hardware. So I'm going to back stitch over to the end.
Everyone says it looks
And
really
then
good.
stitch the whole length. And then I will back stitch into the
thank
center
you.
again. And then I'll cut my threads. Josh, can I see it?
I don't have that fancy pliers that she has, but we're gonna make do.
You don't have to have the fancy pliers. Just make sure
Well,
if
you
you're using
need
some
to.
other tool to make sure you pat it so that you're not digging up your hardware.
Well, it didn't really dig it up, but it did dent it up.
And that's okay
You're
too.
fired. You're fired, Josh.
I'm
You
definitely
can
fired.
also use, like, if you have like a little rubber hammer or something, you can use that too, because then that won't dent the hardware at all. You just want to make sure you don't hit your fingers. I have seen some people who have like a little mini bench vise, like a little tabletop vise, like just a little tiny one for like different bag making stuff, and they have that right in their sewing room. So that's another option that some people would have, but that looks awesome.
Thank you.
And your lines are pretty darn good too.
On
His
that side.
lines look better than mine. I'm a little jealous.
That side's got
I
great
highly
lines. That side,
recommend
not so much.
one of these little tiny rulers that you can just lay down next to your fabric and just
You know,
let it
you
help.
had that in your last show, and I actually have one sitting over here just for that. And I didn't use it. Big dummy.
I think you did a pretty darn good job. You
Well,
guys,
thank
that's
you.
He
pretty much the
did.
first thing he's sewn on a machine. What, since high school, or this type
Eighth
of machine?
grade. Eighth grade.
I am so jealous that he sounds fine for you guys, because he sounds super muffled and far away for me. It was fine
That's
at
how he
first.
sounds in real life too.
What's that?
He's always very muffly to me in real life because he's a mumbler.
No, no, all of you, like everything that's coming through. That I have to keep stop stitching so I can
Oh
listen to
no.
what you're saying, because I can't hear you when I'm sewing. But when I first co-hosted him, he sounded nice and clear and crisp, and everyone else is saying he sounds fine. So it's got to be something with my phone. But it was
Your
fine
son
right up
just called you a dummy.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay, so this, now I'm gonna get my hardware for this one. And again, you're just gonna decide, like, you've got, the hardware is 1.25 inches. It comes in different sizes. I happen to have a lot of the 1.25 inch because I feel like
Don't brave yet.
it's a good handle. And then we're gonna put it in our glass breaking pliers. I do have some of these in my shop. You can get them on the Zon for around $9. For the 6-inch ones, these are the 8-inch. I really like this brand because I love the grips on them. And also this brand they're nice and straight on the inside. Some of these are glass breaking pliers, and some of them come curved. And that's just gonna dent up your hardware. So make sure you get ones that are straight across if you get them. I do have a couple of pairs in my bin, and they're marked up a couple of bucks because by the time the fees come out, I'm gonna make like 80 cents on them. So it's there as a courtesy for you guys. So if you do get something from me, they can be shipped in the same package. Not so much so I can make anything on them. It's just a convenience thing for you guys.
Do that one, or you can do the seashells. Oh, I see
So
what you're doing.
I'm going to
We are going to be
decide.
brave.
I guess it doesn't really matter which side I decide is the front. But when I put my key fob strap into the hardware, I slide it in from the side because there's these little teeth in here. And it sometimes, depending on if you're adding ribbon or how thick the batting is that you're using, sometimes it will snag on those teeth and then it doesn't grip in that spot. So I slide it in from the side to make sure. And then I squeeze it down about halfway. I put my fingers lightly on the sides just to make sure it doesn't slide out on me. And I only grip it down about halfway because then you can adjust it, make sure it's coming off the hardware straight, make sure it's centered properly. And I like the way this one looks, so now I'm going to clamp it down the rest of the way. But I also like these because they're padded. And another thing I've noticed is some people will grip them back here, and then you're putting all the pressure in the center, and you're going to end up with like a big dented line going down the center of your hardware. So always make sure when you're gripping with these pliers, you're gripping this little lip here, like right on that lip. And then you won't have a big dent going down the side of your hardware. So now we have another key fob. Look at those juicy fabrics. They are so pretty.
So pretty.
Trying to be brave.
All right. I know I wanted to try and co-host a few other people that were trying to plug their YTube channels because I know there was a few other people in our little community that were struggling to get enough followers to actually stream. Those seashells, that's a Tilda fabric. I think the collection was like Seashore or something like that. But that
It's
is a
gorgeous.
Tilda fabric. I don't know where he got it from though. Probably wasn't from me. Wink, wink. I'm pretty sure it
You
was.
just happen to know it all.
You're welcome. I'm gonna do a few more. I do have some kits if you guys want me to run some of the kits, but first I'd like to see. I know Faith Build wanted to co-host for a little bit so that she could talk to you guys about what she wants to run when she does her tutorials, or when she wants to stream on you on the Tube of Y as well. But I know there's been a few other people that have been like working at it for months now, and they're like really struggling to get their numbers up for subscribers because you have to have 50 people subscribed um, before you can actually live stream or multicast. Like if they're doing something on here, they can stream it to the Tube of Y as well. And it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. So I'd like to co-host somebody. Um, I know there was Kinetic Lace. Faith, you're still here? You want to take a turn co-hosting for a little bit so you can plug your channel so we can get you some followers? Yeah, there's no interaction. The whole reason that I wanted to stream there was just so that if you guys weren't able to sit through the whole show, or if you missed something, or if you just can't make it at all, and I still wanted to be able to have those videos available for you guys to go back and watch later on at your own convenience, because that way it's not live anymore, and you can pause that um, and just like catch up, and that you can go at your own pace. Yeah, so that was the only reason that we're doing this. Is it's not because I plan on doing any sales on there, because I have no desire to try and do anything else there. The whole thing was that they used to be able to do to watch old videos, like rewatch old shows, and whatnot kind of took that away. The only way you can watch parts of old videos is if you made a purchase and you have that video receipt so you can watch some of it. So this is my way around it, is to be able to go back and watch those videos at your convenience. So, Josh, are you okay if I end your co-host for a little bit so we can have Faith come on for a few minutes?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely fine. I'll be here whenever you want to come back.
All right. Yeah. It shouldn't be too long. And then if somebody else decides that they want to be co-hosted so they can plug their channel, then I'll try and do it in between after I finish the fob, and then you can get yours prepped for the next one. And we'll
Okay.
see how you do on the next one when you come back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cry for a little while, and I don't want to do that on camera while I cut this fabric.
You go have a good cry, and I'll let you know when we're ready to come back. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Um, How do I do this? Here we go. Thank you, Josh. He did such a good job on that, you guys. All right, now, where is Faith? I just had all kinds. Hi, community quilters. Patricia, welcome in, everybody. Where's Faith? Where's Faith? It was like all kinds of other people just kind of went all crazy. Like the whole thing just blew up. I had all this stuff. Invite to co-host. All right, so Faith-Filled Treasures is coming on now.
Hey,
Hi.
hey guys. Can you hear me?
I can hear you all right because I'm not sewing.
Okay, good. Hey, all my friends. Hello, wonderful people. So, you are making lots of key fobs tonight.
This is only the second one.
Thank you so much for this. This is awesome. I appreciate this so much. It's been a while since I've been on. I haven't been on all week, so it's great to
How's the
see
bus driving?
everybody. Oh my gosh. There's so much that you have to learn to get your CDLs. I applaud anybody that has had to go to school to get their CDLs because my
Yeah.
brain is fried. My brain is fried. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited. It'll be fun.
Awesome.
So, well, thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome.
My thing, I'm going to put it on here real quick while I've got, I do appreciate this. Am still undecided as far as what I'm going to do on my tutorial. Because there's my YouTube channel, and I would appreciate anybody that goes on and subscribes so that I can do the tutorial that's coming up for our demo train. I am so excited about that, but I'm still undecided on what I'm doing. I have some bags that I was going to think about doing with the freehand.
Oh, the free motion?
Yeah,
Like the
and
applique?
yeah, with the applique, so that's still on my list, but I also am trying to get some bibs done for my new grandbaby that's on the way, so I thought, "Well, maybe I'll do a bib one." So, I don't know.
That'd
My
be
next
fun.
show, I think I'm gonna do a poll, so we
Oh,
can
there you
decide on
go.
what
That's
to do.
awesome.
Yeah, so I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys wanna see? That's what I wanna know, because there's not much that besides quilting, I'm not there yet. I'm not there
I
yet.
think bibs or like maybe some little burp cloths. I think that would be great because then you could
Yeah.
demo it a few times
Yeah,
over the
they're
course
quick.
because it's only like a 45-minute slot, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
45 minutes. And I didn't want to do long because people lose interest and people have things to do
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. So I thought 45 minutes would be a good time. And if we do great, then we'll do another one the next month. Bibs. Okay, great.
Right.
I yeah, and there's so many wonderful bibs out there. Some of them I found some bandana ones while I was out shopping. Yay! Thank you so much, CNG. That is awesome. I appreciate you guys so very much. We
Thank you
have
for keeping
such an
tabs on that
amazing.
too, CNG. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's all together. It's all together. Faith-filled treasures, like one
Yep.
word.
Yep. So
And
at Faith Filled Treasures, all one
yeah,
word, and you
yeah,
should be able to find her on there. I
yeah.
followed you the first day when you followed me. I followed you right back. So
I was like, "Oh, a new one. Okay." Yes, thank
I
you so
know.
much. Oh, you're
And
getting
we just got
rated.
rated, Mrs.
Miss
Reason. Thank you so
Reason.
much. You guys, we have
Thank you,
a
Jenny.
giveaway going for this key fob that we just made.
Thank you guys so very
So
much.
make sure you get in that giveaway. Nobody has bought anything, so don't worry about having not have made a purchase or anything like that. Don't worry about that. Right now we've got Faith Filled Treasures on, and we are trying to get her some more followers or subscribers on the Tube of Why. So her at for that is at Faith Filled Treasures. That's all one word. And we're trying to get her up to 50 subscribers at least so that she can also stream some tutorials. We've got a demo raid train coming up on the 24th and they're 45-minute slots. Thank you so much for tagging that again. And in order to rewatch those videos, we're not able to rewatch past shows on Whatnot anymore. So our workaround for that is to stream them over there, and then you guys can go back and watch them at your own convenience.
Yeah, and I hate that we don't have that on Whatnot anymore because I love watching you do your bags, because I love making bags, and something is always my husband's a pastor, so we're always on the run and doing, and I'm like, I can't go back and watch what she's doing. So, I'm so thankful for YouTube that you're being able to stream on there now because I love going back and I love like Miss Reason. Miss Reason does some great ones in the morning. She makes
Yes.
clothes and stuff. So I love the opportunity to be able to go back because, we're not all fortunate to be able to be on here all day long watching. So
Right,
yeah.
or late at night, and it just everyone has different schedules, and that's 100% understandable, so I totally want everyone to be able to watch these other ones. Something else you could do to make sure you get up there is to just go on your personal FB account
hmm
and, just be like, "Hey, I know I don't ask for much, but I could really use your help because this is
And
what
it's
I do
funny
and
you
this is what
say
I
that
wanna
because
do."
I saw yours and I was like, "Hey, that's probably what I need to do."
Yeah,
Because, I mean, most of my, Facebook is, family and church because I don't do a lot of Facebook on occasion, I will.
right.
But I thought, if I could get enough just to get 50 to where I could just start streaming. So, oh, your
Yeah.
winner's going.
Woo, who's gonna get it?
Ah,
CNG Signs,
CNG.
thank you so much.
Congratulations. Awesome. Thanks
This
for
is a
being
nice
here and
cotton
following.
sateen as well. It's nice and I don't know, it has a really nice feel to it. So that's going to be coming to you.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely I would definitely recommend doing that because I got so many people and then I actually had a friend from Washington state who I didn't even realize was on Whatnot. Um he reached out and he's like, "Oh yeah, I buy stuff on there all the time. If I can stop buying, I'm gonna be selling on there probably at some point." And I
Ah,
was like, "Well, I'm following you, and I'll definitely
that's
be at your
awesome.
shows when you start selling because it's not if, it's when." Um,
Yep. I have a couple of ladies at church that follow me on there because they're sewers also. So,
oh,
um, but yeah, I didn't even think about going on there because like I said, I'm not on there much, but I was like, well, I think I might steal Erica's idea and go on there and try to get me some get
you
me
know,
some follows.
definitely worth it for you to do that because like I don't really use Facebook for much either. I don't
Mm-mm.
blast my personal business or anything. My favorite thing to do is to laugh and to smile, make other people laugh.
Mhm.
So when I see something funny, that's pretty much all I post on there. My YouTube is if you go up into the show notes, it's just at Maniac Maker and there's no space or underscore or anything.
And be sure you put that extra I in there.
Yes, everyone keeps mixing that up. I have an extra I in Maniac because I'm from the state of Maine. So
Mhm.
make sure you spell it correctly. And again, that's up in the show notes. It's at Maniac Maker, all one word with an extra I in Maine.
Yes, Star Works, and I have saw some really cute things, handmade bibs that I mean, and, burp cloths, because I just love handmade stuff. I love when my grandson was born, I wasn't at a place I was working all the time, so I wasn't at a place where I could sew as much as I do now, so I'm so excited to be able to spoil this one with all handmade stuff, so
Yes.
oh, I'm up to 33, yay! Thank you guys so
And
much. I
actually,
really
I
do
have
appreciate you
a
all.
really adorable double gauze that I got. Do you know if it's going to be a boy or a girl?
It's gonna be a girl.
Woo woo!
It'll
Hold
be
on
a
a second.
I
I am
know.
gonna send it to you because I thought it was quilt cotton when I got it, and it's not.
And, double gauze is hard to find.
Oh, it is.
It's
It's coca, so it was expensive and
yeah.
hard to find.
Yeah, it is hard to find because 'cause I've been looking. Double gauze and,
If I
also,
can find it, because it's over here on this shelf somewhere.
bamboo, bamboo terry cloth's really expensive too, I found out. Oh, thank you
Yeah,
so
I can
snappy.
put
We
to
are
you
so
this
excited.
website
We've
because I did cloth diapers for my little boy, and
uh-huh.
that stuff is so expensive. I do
Yeah.
have some bamboo. It's like a I don't know if it's terry or if it almost is like a sweatshirt kind of material, but it's really
Hey, Hazy.
absorbent. And so
I, uh
I've got this.
I'm
I've
so
got a similar
excited because my last
refrigerator
grandson
on
my
top
last
of it.
grandchild was 8 years
Oh, there it
ago,
is.
and it
Found the
was a
wrong shelf.
boy. So, 8 years, and now we're gonna get a little girl, so I'm so excited. Oh, I love that.
Isn't it so
That
cute?
is
It's like those little Russian
adorable.
dolls, but they're cats.
Oh, I love that.
And it's
Yeah.
coca and it's double gauze and it is so soft And I thought it was cotton when I got it. I thought it was
Yeah,
cotton when I ordered it, I should say, but
yeah.
it's like a really pale pink, so I'll send this to you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that so very much.
You're welcome.
I have controlled myself. I went to TJ Maxx the other day, looking
Mhm.
for Easter dresses and stuff, and I controlled myself up until the point I went in the little girl section. And there's just so much more for little girls than there are for
All
little
bets are off.
boys. Oh, I know, I know. She was like, "Mom, don't start right now, please." So I'm just so excited. I can't wait to spoil it rotten. Uh,
I
Yeah, she does swaddle. Triwu, she did swaddling with her 8-year-old, so when he was born. So yeah, and it's amazing the difference that it makes. He started off colicky, and when she got him swaddled up, and oh, it was just a huge difference. It was a huge difference. So I want to be able to do all that. I want to be able to make all those for her because they're so expensive and made out of such cheap material.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
so when you have control over everything that's going into it, that's gonna be the best thing right there, and then you can pick and choose because it's so limited to what they have too, like, everything's so generic,
mhm.
um, so to be able
Yep.
to do that and have, like, grandma made that.
Yeah, and it's lasted this long. It didn't, fall apart in the washing machine the first wash. That's what I love. Well,
Yep.
thank you so much, friend, and I appreciate you. I won't keep everybody because I have school in the morning.
Oh,
So,
there you go. Get ready for school.
woohoo, pack my lunch.
Well, I hope you get up there. I know you were at 33 on the last count. Can anyone
Yep.
check?
Let me tag it really quick again. Again, I appreciate you doing this so much, friend. You are truly a blessing to this community, and we love you so much. Um,
34. CNG says 34. Thank you, CNG.
And there we go. All right. If anybody hasn't, I appreciate you all so very much. I do. Like I said, I love this community. You all have been there for me through ups and downs and curveballs and everything else. And like I said, I will be back. I won't probably, we've had a couple of deaths in the family this week.
Oh, I'm
So I probably
sorry.
won't be back on this week. So I'll probably be back fresh next week after I take my test. Y'all be praying Tuesday morning. Pray, Lord, let Leanne pass her test. So, but you all have a wonderful night. Thanks again, Maniac. You are amazing. I love you.
You are welcome.
So
Gotta
I'm gonna
community
go.
builds together, right? We don't build
It
it
does.
ourselves.
It
Doesn't
That's
build
right.
itself. We gotta
It
all
takes
work
a
on it.
village. It takes us a village. It
That's right.
does. And we have a great one. So
All right.
thank you,
You
Hazy
have a great
A's.
night.
You too. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Mm, all right. Yes, so she is on the tube of Y, and I think we'll get her there. Hopefully by the end, by the time she wakes up in the morning, we'll try and have her at 50. I'm gonna keep plugging them. um, you are so welcome, friend. You are always welcome. I think Kinetic Lace had said I wanted to write down a list, but I know Fabric King is on that as well, but I'm not sure if he plans to do any tutorials on there. I'm not sure how many subscribers he has. She's at 36. Nice. So nice. Thank you so much, community quilters. We appreciate you. Um So what do you guys want to do now? Do we have anybody else in here who wants to streams on there to do some tutorials like we're doing on here? Cuz if you want to do that, I can co-host you. I know who else was it? I know Draz was going to come on. I know she already has the ability to stream, but she wanted to come on and just like drop a little mention of her channel so that she can possibly get a few more of you guys subscribed over there as well. And then I believe the other person was Kinetic Lace. So she was going to be trying to pop on. I know she's with her kids and her grandkids, so it was going to be whenever she was available to do so. Um, so if I see anyone else pop on and you guys want to be co-hosted so you can do the same thing, then just give me a shout and I will make sure we get you on there. Now, we'll get back to doing some key fobs. Do you guys want me to make a couple more key fobs right now and co-host the Nilla Gorilla back? Or do you want to see some of the kits that I have made up? Because I have some kits. I know there's some hardware in the shop. There's a whole bunch of stuff in the bin. Um, But the point of the show is not to be selling anything. So if you guys don't want me to post any of my kits or anything, then you're more than welcome to just say, get back to the fobs, and I'll definitely get back to the fobs. Because this next one is going to have some ribbon on it, which I'm not sure if I've shown you guys how I do those ones yet. Nobody's saying anything, you guys. We got almost 40 people in here. We got 40 people in here. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to see another kit made or another fob be made, or do you want to see the ribbon? Yes, okay. Typically what I'll do is I will make a couple, then I'll run some kits, and then I'll make a couple more, and I just I try to go over it a number of times, like every time it's from start to finish. And I go through the steps and the measurements and everything, because you never know when somebody's gonna come on. Um, yes, thank you so much. Definitely do that. I'll see if I can pin that real quick. Hold on. There we go. We are trying to if you're on YouTube, give a thumbs up, please comment and share for Maniac Maker. Yes, do that too. So we have Faith-Filled Treasures. We just co-hosted her, and she came on. She's trying to get up to 50 subscribers on YouTube, and it does not take any money. You don't have to pay anything or anything. We are just trying to get her up to 50 so that when she does a demonstration or a tutorial, then we will be able to watch that again at our convenience, because it will be on the tube of Y forever. Um, and I know Whatnot has recently, in the past couple months, taken away the ability to view past shows, which is what I was counting on when I started doing some tutorials, was for you guys to be able to go back and watch the past shows. So if you wanted to see how to make a key fob, you can watch it whenever you want. You could pause it until you like finish a step. But we don't have that ability anymore. So now we're kind of branching out to the tube of Y. So that we can have you guys watch the videos back there. And like I said, you'll be able to pause them. You can watch them whenever you want to, whenever is convenient for you. And so Faithful Treasures would also like to be able to have the ability to do so. So if you guys could follow her, she was up to 36 the last time we had someone check. So we're almost there. She need 14 more people to subscribe. And again, it doesn't cost anything. So let's get her there. Thank you guys for the follow. I appreciate you guys. So now we're going to get back to making key fobs. We have the hardware that I use is 1¼ inch. It does come in different widths. The standard length that I use for my batting and for my fabric is 12 inches. And that will give you a good size fob. I like to say I have pretty average hands. So there's more than enough room in here, but some people just have bigger hands. So if you want to make these 13 or 14 inches long instead of just 12, you are more than welcome to do that. What batting am I using? This is some scraps of, I believe it's Warm and Cozy is the typical batting that I use. Because when I use the quilt batting, I just use whatever scraps I have, like trimmings from quilts or whatever. But when I make up my kits, I actually buy this. It's a cotton batting that comes on a roll, and it's cut to the width of 2½ inches. So 7 more for Faithful Treasures, you guys. 7 more subscribers, and she will be there. We're at 43. Thank you so much, Diana, for doing that. Thank you, Megan. So on these, the width of the hardware that I'm using is 1¼ inch. And so you always want your batting to be double the width of the hardware. So this is 1¼ So my batting on here is 2½ inches. Then when it comes to the fabric, it's all going to be the same length. The fabric is going to be double the width of the hardware plus 1 inch, because that gives you roughly 1/2 inch to fold in. You can make the fabric bigger so you have it go right into the center. That's totally up to you. I just like to say as a general rule, to give yourself at least a 1/2 inch extra on each side to be able to fold it in. And usually it will stay pretty well for you. It's easier to work with. If you only give yourself an extra 1/2 inch overall, it's really hard. It's just more difficult, especially if it's not something that you're used to doing yet. It's just more difficult to keep all those little bits stuck inside when you go bring it over to the sewing machine. And you can clip it, but they still want to pop out on you sometimes. So I say the width of the hardware doubled plus an inch, because that gives you a 1/2 inch on either side. And so now all I'm going to do is fold this fabric in, and the batting will typically act as like Velcro and kind of hold it in place for you a little bit. And then I come through with my little iron and give it a quick press to kind of set those creases a little bit. 3 more, you guys. She's almost there. She has been struggling to get to 50, you guys. I was like, well, tell you what I'm going to do. Nilla Gorilla, are you ready to come back on? If you're still in here, let me check. Are you still in here? I don't see him, you guys. He must still be crying. Oh, there you are. Okay, I'm going to invite you back. Here we go, you guys. And he's back. Ooh, look at you go. Oh my goodness. He's going extra, y'all. You don't know if your iron was too hot? Diana, I'm gonna mod you real quick so you can pin that for me. If you want, you don't have to. How close to the edge do you sew? You can go as close as you want. As long as you have a good amount of fabric inside, you can do out a 1/4 of an inch if you're more comfortable with that. I tend to go as close to the outside edge as I can, which is usually about 1/8 of an inch. But that's totally up to you. Like, if as long as you're going to be able to hit through all of the layers of fabric and both layers of batting, then you're perfectly fine doing that. And so now I'm going to fold this in half again and line up those folded edges. And how you doing, Josh? I don't know if he can hear me.
I can. I'm sorry. I'm concentrating.
He is in full concentration mode.
He's working hard, y'all.
He really is.
I mean, that looks pretty darn good. So, if you guys are just coming in, Josh hasn't really sewn anything like this before. Yeah, look at him go. He's doing so good. You are doing so good.
Well, thank you.
So another thing you could do is, if you don't have that extension that goes around your machine because it got lost, you can put like a box or something, like put something in front of it to build it up, just because you have more of a work area. Not something you have to do right now. Just like, I would probably try it just to see if it helps you at all, just having more surface area to rest everything on and not have to hold everything up all the time. I've done it before with empty fabric bolts and I had everything all taped together, and then I put, I believe it was like wax paper or parchment paper over it so everything would slide. 2 more to go for Faith-Filled Treasures, you guys. She's almost there. She needs 2 more subscribers on the Tube of Why. You guys are doing so good. So now I have this all pressed. I'm going to bring this over to the sewing machine. And all I'm going to do this time is I'm going to start in the center and just sew around the perimeter. And then I'm going to bring it back here. So I'm going to let you guys watch Josh real quick.
Woo.
Yes, we are making some key fobs. Well, I guess I'll bring you over here because if you're just coming in, you didn't see what I was doing earlier. So we'll bring you over here. We are co-hosting with the Nilla Gorilla. Josh is doing a fine job. Doing a fine job. Look at that stitching. Look at that fabric. It's fan-flippin-tastic. I'm so proud of you.
I'm so thankful
It,
you walked me through this.
what's that?
I said I am so thankful you walked me through this.
It's just so
That
easy.
right there makes me stupid happy.
Isn't that amazing? I love when it happens that way.
Oh,
Love,
I
love,
took the time and
love.
measured.
And measured again and measured again.
All right, so I'm going to start stitching towards the center. And the reason I start in the center of the strap on the end is because when I clip these threads afterwards, I want those little short threads to be hidden inside the hardware. I don't want anything sticking out the sides. Great job, Josh. That is fan-flippin-tastic.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mom just got her first one done. Maybe I should co-host you so you can show it off after. Mom's gonna be like, no, thank you. Send me a picture. Okay, so now I'm gonna sew down. This is where those sides got folded in. And so that's the first side we're actually gonna stitch. And I'm just gonna go as close to the outside edge as I can. But again, if this isn't something that you've done before and you're more comfortable going in 1/4 of an inch, as long as you're gonna sew through all of these layers and it's not gonna open up on you, then that's perfect. It's fine. There's no right or wrong way to do these. This is just how I do them. Does anybody have any updates on how many more Faith needs? I think she was up to 2 the last time. She needed 2 more. Still needs 2. 2 to go. 2 to go, you guys. We need 2 more subscribers for Faith-Filled Treasures. And it doesn't cost anything to subscribe, you guys. It's just going to give her the ability to multicast, so we will be able to watch her tutorials back later on at our convenience. So if you guys could do that, it would be super appreciated. If we can get 2 more for her, I will do a special giveaway. I will do a special giveaway. She only needed 2 more to go. So now I'm going to stitch down the outside of this. And I'm just resting my hands here. My fingers are just kind of resting on the top because that way if there's any wrinkles in the batting or anything, I'll feel it and I can fix it. But I'm just letting the machine feed it through.
Sorry for the shaky camera. I was subscribing, Josh.
What's that? 1 more to go.
1 more.
We done it? Did we get her there?
Yay!
She's at 50. Woohoo! Faith! Faith, they're at 50. That is so exciting, you guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do. Special giveaway. We got Faith-Filled Treasures to 50. Ah, that's so exciting. I have this kit right here. It is the fabric, the batting, and the hardware that you need to make 4 of your own key fobs. I have, this is a Ruby Star Society from the Firefly collection. This is a vintage vibe kind of floral. This is an art gallery, and this is a Tula Pink Minerals. And it comes with a piece of the Curiouser and Curiouser teacup ribbon. And I always use double-sided tape when I make these. So the double-sided tape, I didn't know how it would be to just ship a little piece. So I actually already put the tape on the back of that for you. You just have to peel the paper off of that. So this is going to be my We Got Faith to 50 subscribers giveaway. So I'm going to put this up here and I want everyone to get in on it, okay? And here we go. It's running. I've got 39 people in here. I want all of you in the giveaway. Picture sent. Thank you, Mama. I'll look at it after. I have the tube of Y open on my computer, so I can't look, there's like absolutely no movement on the chat on the YouTube, but that's okay. So this is the giveaway, guys. This is the giveaway. You get a kit to make 4 of your very own key fobs, and you can watch this tutorial back on YouTube later on. So you can make these at your convenience. So make sure you get in that giveaway. I appreciate all of you. I know Faith appreciates all of you guys. That's huge. She's been trying to get there and it just hasn't happened. So I'm glad we could take care of that for her. And I am going to move you guys back over here. I know we were still waiting. Kinetic Lace was supposed to come on as well, but she's out of town with her kids and her grandkids. So as soon as I see her on, or if like one of the mods sees her on, if they can like get my attention, put like some question marks in there. We wanted to co-host her for a bit because I know she's been struggling for quite a while. And I think the last count that I had on her was like 24 or 25. So I'd really like her to be able to get in there too. But you guys, we got Faithful Treasures up to 50 subscribers. So this is my giveaway to you guys. This is a kit to make 4 of your very own key fobs. For Kinetic Lace, Draz, can you check the seller chat and scroll back to find out what kinetics was? Because I mean, I'm not sure if I can do it on my computer right now. Because I know I have her followed, but I don't, I can't remember what it was. Thank you, Draz. I appreciate you. It is Kinetic Lace. So it's just at Kinetic Lace and that's it. If that's the case, maybe we can do this without even having to co-host her. That would be so great. Thank you, Faith. I'm going to mod you too. We're going to have all kinds of mods in here today. Yes. I think that would be a fun Monday show. Moderator Monday. Everybody gets to be a moderator. Okay, so we've done the strap. And if you notice, I only did the stitching around the perimeter. But this one is going to have ribbon on it. So I've cut a piece of ribbon here. And I'm going to use double-sided tape. She has 30 right now. So we've got 20 more people to subscribe to Kinetic Lace. And then I'll give away another kit. I will give away another kit. So I've already got my ribbon cut to length. You just need it to be the same length as the strap. In this case, it's 12 inches long. And then I'm just going to use this tiny little piece, or this narrow double-sided tape. And I'm just going to cut it a little bit shorter, because if I don't have to sew through it, then I'm not going to. And typically what I do, like you can hold it, but a lot of time what I do is I just put a pin in one end and I put it in an angle, so it gives my fingers room to move. And then I'm going to pin the other side and put like a little bit of tension on the ribbon, so it holds it nice and straight and it's not going to go wonky on me. And then I hold up my piece of double-sided tape, and I'm just going to put that right down the center and give it a little press to keep that in place, just like this. And now I can take these pins out, and I will peel the paper off of this. The tape or the ribbon? The ribbon is 7/8, and I think the tape is 1/4 inch. You can use whatever size you have. I just want to make sure I use something narrow enough that it's just going to hold the center of the ribbon so it doesn't shift too much when I sew it. But this one is 1/4 inch. I'm going to do the same thing with this and just hold it down in place with some pins so it doesn't shift on me. And again, I'm going to put like just a little bit of tension on it. And now I'm going to take my ribbon. And I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm not going to measure anything. I'm just going to eyeball it.
Okay.
And make sure it's somewhat centered down the ribbon. I'll stick one end on. And just kind of pop it on there. Make sure that's secure. Like this. And then I'm going to bring this back over to my sewing machine. Who got it? Wendy. Wendy Gill. You just won this kit. It's called double-sided tape. DST. So this is coming to you. That was giveaway number 3. A sticker with your name on it. Thank you guys so much for getting Faith there. always happy when we can get somebody to the goals that they need to reach. Especially if it's going to benefit us, guys. We're going to be able to watch your tutorials. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now I'm going to bring this back over. Make sure you guys are going over to the Tube of Y and subscribing to Kinetic Lace as well. Because if we can get her up to 50, I'll give away another kit. We all got to work on it. We can't just follow ourselves 50 times. Nope, I don't sew through the double-sided tape. It's really, the only reason I have it on here is just to hold this from shifting too much. It's so much easier to just have it held in place for you. When I put the double-sided tape, I leave the tape a little bit short, so it's down about 1/2 inch on each end, and it's only right down the center, and I'm not sewing through it at all. I'm just going to sew around the perimeter of this ribbon as close to the outside edge as I can get. Josh, how's that fob coming? She's at 36. Yes, let's get her there. Before we even co-host her, let's try and get her to 50. Oh my gosh, is that all done? You guys, if you're just coming in, Josh has not sewn items like this on the sewing machine before. This is his first go at it, and he's doing phenomenal. That's the second one he did. You are so awesome. That one looks even better than the first. Look how straight those lines are. Look at
I was
that print
hoping
placement. Oh my
I'd catch a
goodness.
bat up in there, but it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm. I got the vapors. I got the vapors looking at that, you guys. It looks so good.
That's
So
ridiculous.
good. That's amazing.
You are an amazing teacher.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm going to bring you back over here. Is there a link to the hardware I've ordered before and they were really cheap quality? If you message me, I can send you a screenshot of the ones I use. I can't actually send you a link because Whatnot doesn't allow that. It will flag my comment and then I'll get reported and stuff. So I can send you a screenshot of what I order. I do have some 10 packs of it's when I find a good quality hardware, then I keep ordering from the same place. But I do have some 10 packs in there for a pretty decent price. And there's some oil slick hardware in there too. Don't judge me on the price of that because I did the math and I pay right around $2 a piece for the oil slick hardware for the 1 1/4 inch. It's very expensive because of the finish. So I think I've got a 2-pack in there for $6. And by the time I actually have all the fees and everything take out, I make about 80 cents. So I'm not trying to like rip you guys off. I'm just trying to cover my fees and my expenses. What is my iron? This is like a little cheapo thing I got from Walmart. It is a Steam Fast. 38, you guys. We got 12 more to go for Kinetic Lace on YouTube. I'm gonna bring you guys over here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mama. What is it set on? You know, I don't know. I'll have to check. I would like to say that it's on whatever the factory setting was, like when I got it, but my little boy plays with that iron. When I'm in here, if I'm using my big iron, he will come in and pretend to use this one on my little wool mat. I don't know if there's a setting on this. This is just like a... Oh, there is. I never put water in my iron. And there's this little button pushed down on it, so I'm not sure. It's about halfway. It's about halfway, if that helps at all. So I'm going to bring this over to my machine, and I am just going to start... When I start sewing either the fob or the ribbon, I start in the center so that when I cut the threads at the end, those little tiny tails are going to be hidden inside of the hardware. And so I'm just going to stitch over to the edge of the ribbon. And then I'm going to sew as I'm comfortable. Just to hold that down. So I'm going to go right along the edge. if you need to stitch in a little bit farther, so you don't have to worry about, I don't know, if you're just not comfortable stitching that close to the edge and you think you're going to go off, stitch in a little closer. Nobody's going to judge you. It's whatever works best for you. This is like a good scrappy project. It's a good quick fix. Max would be okay, but you got to watch the type of fabric that you're using. Like Max is fine for cotton. I would not put the iron over. This is Renaissance ribbon. It's a jacquard and it's a synthetic woven ribbon. But you could melt it. When I cut it, I actually use a lighter and just give the ends a little quick burn. Get the lighter close to it, just so it doesn't fray out on you. How many more we have for Kinetic Lace to hit 50? She's gonna be so surprised next time she goes to look. You know, if she pops in, and she's not in here right now, if she pops in, I think we should still co-host her and then be like, yeah, let's get her to 50. Why don't you check and tell me how many more you have? And then she'll check and she'll be at 50. And we'll be like, ha, gotcha.
Gotcha.
That would be so fun. She'll be like, what? We'll be like, surprise, we got you, girl. I feel like that could be super fun. Thank you so much, Cowgirl. I appreciate it. I know she's going to appreciate it. So we stitched across the end, and now we're just coming back down the other side. Josh, are you working on another one?
Yes, ma'am.
Woohoo! Are you using the same fabric?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. So bougie. Did you see those little charms they threw in there?
Mm-hmm.
That bat one is so good. When I found that, I was like, oh my goodness, that is just like the bat on that teal one that you did, the batty print. It's like the same thing. It has the little moon, the little stars.
I love them.
It's so
I was
cute.
like, oh, we need to send one of those too. Bought the hardware from here and it was great quality. You did get your flyers from Amazon. Yeah, I'm really picky about the hardware. Like I said, I found some that I thought was a great deal, and then I got it, and I could literally take the hardware and close it with my fingers. It was so weak and so thin. Just because it's a good price doesn't mean it's a good quality. So when I find a good quality from a good, reliable source, then I tend to just stick with it. But I will say that the oil slick finish, and pretty much any of the other finishes, are more expensive, but the oil slick is so expensive.
But the
All
oil
right,
slick
so
is my
now I
favorite.
have finished in the center. What's that?
The oil slick is definitely my favorite.
I know, it's so nice.
It's just.
She's at 40. We got 10 to go for Kinetic Lace, you guys. What is the hardware made out of? I'm not sure of the specific metal that it's made up of. They're metal. They're not plastic or anything. They're definitely metal. I just don't know the specific type of metal. Saving them for something special. Yeah, those are expensive. I was like, when I first put them in my bin, I was like, oh, I'll put in like a 5-pack for like $7 or $8. And then I was like doing the math and I'm like, oh no. It's gonna cost me a lot more just to do that. So very expensive. So now I have my strap stitched down, or the ribbon stitched down to the strap. It's not quite perfect. You see, it's like a little bit more narrow on the bottom than it is the top. You know how much I care? I don't, because it's pretty darn good. And that's what you guys need to realize is it doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. Sometimes they come out better than others. Sometimes they don't.
2.5.
Character. It's all about character.
Yeah.
So I start stitching the straps together in the center, and I'm going to back stitch. So I go over the back edge, and then I'm going to go all the way across. And then again, I'm going to stitch backwards into the center so that I can cut my threads in the center, and all of that's going to be hidden inside of the hardware afterwards. Like this will all be inside. You won't see it. 10 more to go. Let's get Kinetic Lace there, you guys. I really hope she pops on so we can co-host her and be like, hey, how many do you need? And then when she checks, she'll freak out. I know she has been trying for a good long time to get there so that she can stream there. So I'm just trimming this off. You don't have to trim off the little bit of batting, but I don't want to see it on the outside edge of the hardware, so there we go. Where did I find my ribbons? You can find them in online quilt shops. I know if you go to Community Quilter, who was in here a few minutes ago, I believe they're still in here. She has a ton of different Renaissance ribbons in her bin. They are super high quality woven ribbons. Some of them are only 2 colors. So it's actually like a reversible because it's only two colors of the fibers woven together, so it's reversible. This one has multiple colors, so when you look at the back, it's like you see all the threads that went into making the design. But these are woven designs. They're not printed ribbons. They are woven, so they're very, very high quality. But they're also expensive to match that. But Community Quilters, I have got a ton of ribbons from her. I believe I bought out all of the zebra that she has, and then I used it up, and then I found an online quilt shop, and I bought the rest of what they had, because I love that zebra ribbon. And I have like all the colors of this minerals print, and it goes so well with any of them. But Community Quilters is where it's at. They have them for a really, really good price. They are in their bin, so it's not an auction item, so you can just go in and buy whatever you need. Specific type of ribbon, so they last. No, you can use grosgrain ribbon if you want. Lots of people use grosgrain ribbon on key fobs. You don't have to use batting and quilt cotton. You can use seatbelt webbing, which is like a poly, or you can use cotton webbing and stitch your ribbons onto that. You don't have to go through all this stuff that I'm doing. This is how I do them. This is how I like to do them. I like to use quilt cotton because I like to use the different fabrics. I love to sew on the ribbons. And I like to use batting because I like that quilty, poofy feel to them. They're nice and cozy. Yep. So we need to get her to 50 subscribers, you guys, and I will give away another kit. We're trying to surprise her. It's gonna be super awesome if she does come on, though. I'm pretty excited to hope that she comes on. And we've already hit 50. That would be fantastic. So now I'm gonna use my hardware. And this is my 1¼ inch hardware. And I'm going to use these are glass breaking pliers, but I use them for key fobs. This specific brand, I really like the grips on them. It's a good weight. But these ones are flat inside, and most of the glass breaking pliers are actually like domed up in the center, and so they nest together to make like a concave kind of form. So when you use those on this hardware, you're going to have a big dent in it. So this specific brand, they're nice and flat. So when you squish the hardware down, it's going to stay nice and flat. It's not going to be all misshapen or anything. And then when I go to put my hardware on, if you see these teeth in here, they're very sharp, very picky. If you just go to jam this in here, a lot of times it will snag on that tooth and it'll kind of fold itself backwards. So it's not going to get speared onto that when we crimp it shut. It's not going to get stuck in there. So I always take it and slide it on from the side. And you really notice a difference when you're doing like the batting with the ribbon, because it's a little bit more bulky in the center. And I just kind of make sure it's butted up in there. I hold my fingers lightly on the sides to make sure it's not sticking out. And then I crimp it about halfway, because you see how my hardware is just a little bit crooked? I can straighten that out because I only went halfway. And I can make sure I'm not sticking out all wonky on the sides. That looks really good. And now I'm going to crimp this down the remainder of the way. And when I put it in here, I'm going to make sure I'm on that bumpy part. See how it's not flat? There's like a little ridge here. You don't want to put your pliers halfway down because you're going to have a big dent down the center of that, because that's where you're going to put all the pressure. So I always make sure it's on this ridge right here. And then I'm going to crimp that down the rest of the way. Give it a good squeeze, and then I'm going to make sure my edges are down nice and snug as well. There we go. We have a finished key fob. And again, we use some nice batting in there, so it's a nice squishy, quilted feel to it. Not too bad. Thank you. And now that we finished a key fob, I'm going to get this one going as a giveaway. We made a key fob. We're giving you a key fob. Somebody's going to win it. Nobody had to have bought anything. You guys are welcome to get in the giveaway. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Josh, how you doing?
We're experimenting.
Experimenting. What do you do? Are you trying to get the selvage to show?
Well, I want to get it just the right size for the oil slick that I have.
Mm-hmm.
It was provided by some sweet lady who will remain unnamed. Maniac baby.
What's the size of the hardware? Is it the 1 inch?
1 inch, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you want your batting to be 2 inches. 2 inches wide. So you might have to trim your batting down. And then when you go to fold your fabric over, the batting is going to be the perfect width. So if you trim that down so you have a nice straight 2-inch piece, that should be perfect. Because again, if you guys are just coming in, the hardware comes in different widths. So I've got 1 inch, I've got 1 1/4, I've got 1 1/2. I do a standard 12 inches for like a regular standard size key fob wristlet. My hands are pretty average size, but you know, there's a lot of room in there. If you're making them for someone with bigger hands, you can always add an inch or two to the length. But the formula that I use for the batting and for the fabric is you're going to measure the width of your hardware, and the batting is going to be 2 times the width of your hardware. And then the fabric is going to be 2 times the width of your hardware plus an inch, because that gives you a 1/2 inch on either side of the batting to be able to wrap that inside. Look at him go, you guys. He's going to be a fob making.
Yeah, I don't know how to finish that. A fob
Okay,
making, and it
you
just.
work on that one. Kinetic Lace is here.
All right.
So I'd like to co-host her for a little bit. You work on that one. Do you need any other questions answered before I'll bring you back after?
You're good. You're good. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, you're welcome. You can't right now. Okay, well, it looks like you're going to stay on for a little bit.
Just kidding.
Kinetic, we have been working on getting your followers up or your subscribers up on YouTube. So I'm glad that your phone has been blowing up. 9 to go. How many did you have the last time you had checked? Do you know? Like the other day, like when we were talking the other day. I know you had said you had been trying for a while to get your numbers up and it was a struggle to get all those subscribed. Yeah, okay. Okay. So we got 9 to go and we'll get you to 50. And when we get you to 50, I'm going to pull out another key fob kit. And we're going to use that as a giveaway as a thank you to everybody for getting you to 50. You're welcome. We got Faith-Filled Treasures up to 50. Probably about a half hour ago. We got her up to 50 as well. So pretty awesome. If you guys are just coming in, we just made a key fob. So this is our giveaway. We made a key fob and we're going to gift a key fob. So this is the key fob. This is Tula Pink Lineworks ribbon. That is the zebra. And it reminds me of the Fruit Stripes gum. And it's 1.25 inches wide. We just made this. And then on the bottom half of your screen, you will see the Nilla Gorilla. Josh has never made anything like this on a sewing machine before, and he is following along, and now he is working on his 3rd key fob, and they are epic. He is doing a fantastic job. My numbers are up as well. What are my numbers up to, Mom? I had like 83 or 84 or something before, like earlier when I was trying to figure out 93. Heck yeah. I had my son my son just happened to come downstairs earlier when I had my computer out and I was trying to figure out the was it OSB in order to multicast there as well as here so that we could watch tutorials back later on. And the only thing that I didn't know was that you had to, even if you had enough followers, you have to make sure you have permission from YouTube in order to stream live. And so he did that, and it said it was like a 24-hour, up to 24-hour waiting period in order to get permission granted. And then it was like seconds later. So we did a test run earlier. So I have like a super short live on there now. This is going to be pulled. Who's getting it? Mountain Girl. Mountain Girl, you won the giveaway. Are you still here? You are, because you wouldn't have won if you left. So I know you're here. Yeah, you're welcome. I hope you love it. It's super squishy. Super squishy. I think that was giveaway number 4. I love these little cellophane packs, but I don't like these little whiskers. And that was
My camera lady left, just FYI.
What's that?
My camera lady, she's abandoned me.
How rude.
Exactly.
Give her heck. Give her heck. Mountain Girl, that's coming to you. Thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you love it. Oh my goodness. Awesome. Very cool. I wonder how many more we have for kinetic. And now I'm trying to decide what the next fob should be. We've already done one of the cave. We've already done the one with ribbon. What was the other one we did? The one with the mushrooms. We did that one too. I'm going to show you. So far, if you guys are just coming in, so far these are the fobs that we've made. We just finished this one. And that's the Tula Pink with the ribbon. This is the cave one that we did. This was actually a piece of the cotton sateen wide backing that I cut down. I had some scraps left over from cutting for a bag. And then this is a Ruby Star Society, and I fixed it just right so that the printed selvage would be showing on here. So we made all 3 of these so far, and we've given these away so far. This is the ribbon while sewing with me. Do you want me to do another one with ribbon? I'm gonna have to cut another ribbon because I don't think I have another. How do I do that? If you give me a second. Give me a second, I'll grab another ribbon. Let's do 2 of these. Okay.
Ow.
Should we do like light pink and gray, forest green and turquoise, or forest green and teal, or magenta and like a deep cherry red? It's not like turquoise. I see a lot for green, so we'll go with green. I have to see what I've got that will go with it that I've already got cut for fabric. Well, I'm gonna cut this to length real quick. Just a second. Okay.
Your thread's not right.
Real quick.
You gotta hook it on that little piece right above the needle.
Pocket and I'll put it away later. That's too much work. Okay, so this is the ribbon we're gonna go with. This is another Tula Pink ribbon. This is from the Moonshine collection. It's got the little skunk and the little mushies. And this one is also Renaissance ribbon, but again, this one was only woven with 2 colors. And so this one is actually reversible. So you've got like this minty turquoise and the dark green, or you can flip it over and you can have the dark green with the minty turquoise. 42 for now. We're gonna get you to 50. We got faith there. We're gonna get you there too. Come on, guys. Let me pull another kit. Ooh. Okay. You guys are gonna decide which kit I pull for the giveaway when we get Kinetic to. She needs 8 more. 8 more, and we'll do another kit as a giveaway. So do you guys want... I need to see the first 3 that have the same answer is what we're gonna choose. So 1, 2, or 3.
Forgetting.
1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2. 2 it is. This will be the next one that we give away. So we have that Tula Pink Minerals again, and then this is a saltwater ribbon with the Sinkies and Floaties. And then we have this sweet little floral, and then we've got the Tula Pink Curiouser teacups. And then this is just a really cool stripe that I love the colors on, so that's in there too. So if we can get her to 50, she only needed 8 more. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. You have a good night. If you need to rewatch, you know where to find me. We are on the Tube of Why. Watch at your convenience and give it a go
Bye,
on your own.
Farah.
7 more. 7 more, guys. Let's go. How you doing, Josh?
Re-threading the needle.
Oh, it happens. Got the
Well,
blue.
if you're not holding her machine just right, you got your mouth just right, and you say the magic words right before you go, it wants to kick it back for some reason. I have no idea why.
What's it not doing?
If you don't hold the thread taut on hers when you first start out, it wants to kick it out.
Oh, yeah, a lot of machines are like that, or it'll like get sucked down into the bottom and make a little rat's nest. So this is a finished fob. I just see we have a request to see a finished one. And this one I did sew down the outside edges, and then I did 2 rows of stitching, and then I put this sweet little, I don't remember. I bought something from someone here, and it was like these cute little crafty items, and there was just this little tiny scrap of this strawberry and flower ribbon. And I thought it was so cute, and I was like, that needs to go on a fob. And I thought it was so sweet. But this is a finished one. As you can see, there's I start with a 12-inch strip, but there is more than enough room in there for like an average size hand. I feel like maybe my hands are a little bit smaller than average, but not a lot. Like I just have short fingers. I've got some little sausage fingers, but I feel like my hand itself, like the palm of my hand, is about average. So if you need to make them longer because you know you're making them for someone with bigger hands, just make them another inch or 2 longer. Make them 13 or 14 inches instead of 12, you know? Super cute. Anyone can do these. I don't know if I want to use that one. I kind of feel like I want to use purple. What do I want to use? You guys tell me. Should I use the blue? Should I use the purple? I think I've got the red one cut as well for the minerals. Or this one might be fun because it's like a camping scene. What if we used this little glow in the dark one? So it's like camping under the stars, that kind of thing. What do you guys want to see me make? Hi, everybody. I gotta look back
I don't know
through.
how you do this and talk to it the whole same time.
What do we
I'll think
see? We
about
see
saying
red.
something and I will look away and I'm like, nope.
Well, when I'm doing this, when I'm actually sewing, I actually have my phone is right in front of me on a tripod, like between my legs, and I'm like working around that tripod. So that's actually more of a challenge to be able to like watch when I'm sewing.
Challenge accepted.
Yep.
Oh my God.
I know it's harder to like watch through the camera too, like watching the screen.
Why do you do this? You're magical.
I saw a red and I saw a purple. I need a tiebreaker. I had a red and I had a purple. Waiting for input, guys. That doesn't help. I say red, purple, purple, red. We're even. 6 more followers for Kinetic Lace. Now someone's throwing in blue. Come on, guys. Okay, next one. Next one for sure. Whatever it is. Red. It was red. The lighter side up. So we'll use the red, but we're gonna have the lighter side up because I like it better. I'm gonna veto all of you guys on that. Mega, what did you just say? You just burnt the bag. Mega was working on another tote. Working on another tote. Her first one came out so good. So good. So I'm gonna grab a piece of batting. If you're just coming in, the piece of fabric that I have is 12 inches long. My hardware is 1¼ inch. And when I cut my batting and my fabric, my batting is going to be double the width of the hardware. And then my fabric is going to be double the width of the hardware plus an inch. So I have enough fabric to fold over comfortably and not struggle with it. So now I'm just going to squish these over the edge and try and get them nice and straight. And most of the time the fabric will stick there kind of like Velcro. But we're going to give it a quick press anyways. Just to make sure it stays put for us. 5 more followers for Kinetic Lace. You guys, Kinetic Lace wants to stream her tutorials as well on the YouTube. So if we can get her subscribers up there, she needs 50 people total. So she only needs a few more. And the subscribing to someone on the Tube of Y doesn't cost you anything. And it's going to get them to where they need to be so that they can share their tutorials and we will be able to watch those at our convenience as well. So, you know, we got to come together as a community so we can make that happen because we can't do everything ourselves. It's okay to get help a little bit every once in a while. And I mean, like I said, it's not going to cost you guys anything. You don't even have to choose to watch. I reached out to friends and family on my Facebook account and I was like, hey guys, I know I don't ask for help. Most of you guys know what I do now. But if I could get some other people to subscribe, then the people that do want to watch are going to be able to rewatch my tutorials. And we want to do that for Kinetic as well. We already got Faith there. And I know we can do it for Kinetic as well. I know we can. So now I've got this all pressed, and this one for some reason does not want to stay. So I'm going to put a couple of clips on this one. Usually I don't have a problem, but this one just really wants to pop back open on me. It's like springy or something. Like check in. I've got one piece of fabric. There's only one piece of batting. I don't know why this one's acting all funky. Oh, I know why. I know why. I put my iron down. I turned my iron down. That's got to be it. It's the only thing I changed. My little iron I did get at Wally World. Yeah, they are super convenient. If you're just doing like little things, you're not like pressing garments or something, it's super nice to just have this little iron for quick little projects next to your machine. And then I've got my little wool mat here. So I don't have to walk over to my big ironing board every time. It's convenient to just have it right here next to me. And usually I'll be sitting down doing this, but I'm standing up so I can like check the chat on my phone every once in a while because usually I have Whatnot open on my phone on my computer, so I can look over there and see the chat. But I've got YouTube up on that right now. I'm looking over at my computer right now. 5 more to go, you guys. This is going to be the kit once we get Kinetic Lace to 50 subscribers on YouTube. I'm going to give you guys this kit. I'm going to put it in as a giveaway, and this is 4 pieces of fabric, 4 pieces of batting, and 4 pieces of hardware to make your own key fobs. And then this is a piece of Renaissance ribbon, and instead of sending you guys like tape like all rolled up, I figured I would save you guys a step and not give you a mangled mess. And I already put the double-sided tape on the back, so all you have to do is peel the paper off. So, what was the question? Or what cheap? The iron? I think I paid 20 bucks for mine at Walmart. I think I paid about 20 bucks for that one. It was not expensive. I refused. I already spent a lot of money on my big iron, which is a Chi, I believe. It's titanium ceramic. That thing is amazing. Best iron in the world. But yes, so this is my giveaway once we get Kinetic Lace up to 50 subscribers. So I'm going to take you back over to my sewing machine so I can sew this. You guys see Josh is down there sewing up on his third. Cheap but works, yes. I was looking at that, I don't know, there's like a big brand, starts with an O, and I've heard nightmare stories about them overheating and like catching things on fire, and I'm like, no, I'm not getting one of those. So I just got the Walmart one that I found. Yeah, I think mine was right around 20. 4 more to go for Kinetic Lace, you guys. 4 more. We're almost there. Josh is doing fantastic. He's stitching that up so you can see the printed selvage. It's going to be fantastic. So I am going to stitch this. I'm going to start in the center so that when I put my hardware on, when I trim up these threads afterwards, these are all going to be hidden. Like they're still going to have little tails on them, but they'll be hidden inside the hardware and you won't see them. So I'm just going to stitch 1 more till I get as close to the edge as I can. You don't have to stitch this close to the edge. You can stitch further in if you're more comfortable with that. It's all about what's the easiest for you. Not everybody can sew right on the edge of the fabric. The most important thing is making sure you're getting through all of the layers. So it doesn't matter if you go 1/4 of an inch in, that's fine. Just make sure you're hitting all those layers as you sew. That's the big thing. We've got to encourage the new sellers. I might not have everything that you guys want. I'm going to have to send you somewhere else. If it's not a fabric that I like or a fabric that's my style, I'm not going to have it. So I want my people, I want my community to be able to get what they want, what they need, what they like, and that's not always going to be with me. So a big part of community is supporting each other, and I feel like that is something that our little community here, our little fabric and sewing and crafty community, has a lot of. There are so many big hearts out there, and I am happy to contribute. That's all there is to it. So I'm just stitching as close to the outside edge as I can. But again, you can stitch in 1/4 of an inch. The biggest thing is just making sure you hit all the layers. Yeah, I try to keep a list. Ooh. Wuzzle. And I'm going to stitch across the bottom. And usually I would go back and stitch like a whole bunch of lines down this, so I'd have 5 actual rows of stitching. But I'm going to add ribbon to this one, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stitch around the whole perimeter. And then I'll bring you back over to my wool mat so you guys can see how I put the ribbon on. And I'm not putting any kind of pressure on my fingers. I'm pretty much just laying my fingers over the top. One, so I can just like let the machine guide everything through it and do all the work itself. But I'm also my finger resting on the top will also feel if there's any weird ripples in the batting or anything. 4 more for kinetic lace, you guys. Thank you, Faith. Um, so I'm just like feeling, making sure there's no weird wrinkles that I need to smooth out, but I'm also just letting the machine pull everything through and do all the work on its own. One more, and then we will end our stitching in the center again. And now, little does he know, Deborah, that it's just going to give you another place to look for fabric, right? Because that's what we all do. We know better. Oh, this is my machine, you guys. I put all of my cool stickers on here when I get cool stickers. This is Dorothy and Toto with the fireman. This one I got from Lexi Boo. This one I got from Crimson. Got that one from Crimson. I got this one from Crimson. I got that from one of my BFFs. One of my favorites. I don't remember who I got this one from. I want to say it might have been so snappy that I got that one from. But it's pretty amazing. And then this is my newest sticker. It's Ophelia. That's a Ruby Star Society sticker. So I'm going to bring this back over here onto my mat. I'm going to pause for just a second so I can get a drink. 3 more to go for kinetic lace. I love my Bernina. I have 12 sewing machines. But yes, my Bernina is my baby. I earned every penny of the money that I used to buy that. And my husband and a friend of ours did not believe I could get all that money together in one day, and I did. I had to sell off some of my fabric to do it, but I did it. And I purged a lot of my super hard to find stuff. And this machine cost me more than my first car, but it is my baby. I absolutely love it.
My
Totally
mama
worth
loves her Bernina too, that's for sure.
it. So the batting in the fabric, I have my little formula that I use in my show notes. It's towards the bottom. But the batting and the fabric are going to vary depending on the size of the hardware that you're using. I use 1 1/4 inch hardware. For the most part, I have other sizes too. But for this one, I'm going to use 1 1/4 inch. And so when you're trying to figure out how big the batting and the fabric should be, I do a standard 12 inches. You can make them longer, you can make them shorter. That's totally up to you. What brand is what? My machine is a Bernina. But you want to figure out what the width of your hardware is when you're figuring what you're going to cut these at. So your batting is going to be double the width of your hardware. So in this case, we have 1 1/4 inch. So our batting was 2.5 inches. And then your fabric is going to be double the width of the hardware plus 1 inch. And that is to make sure you have a comfortable amount of fabric to fold in on your sides and make it easy to work with. You can go less, but if you only have 1/4 of an inch sticking out on each side, you can do it. But it's going to be more difficult to hold those little bits in and then to get them all stitched down. And then you have less distance on those outside edges that you can actually sew. You're going to have to sew closer to the outside edge to make sure you hit through all those layers when you go to sew it together. So that's why I say plus 1 inch, because it gives you a nice comfortable 1/2 inch on both sides in order to sew through. But if you go to my show notes and you scroll down to the bottom of those, you can take a screenshot of that so you'll have it. Oh, you're welcome. I will explain it probably about 50 times through the course of one of my tutorials, and I'm happy to do it because I know people come in at different times. Not everybody has all night to just sit here and watch me and listen to me ramble and go off on a squirrel mission because I get squirreled quite frequently. So I'm just putting this down now because I stitched around the perimeter, but this one I'm going to sew ribbon onto it. So to hold this straight while I do it, I'm going to put a little bit of tension on it to hold it nice and straight, and I'm going to put some pins in it just to hold it for me. And then I'm going to decide, am I using the dark side? Am I using the light side? I'm going to use the light side facing up because I feel like this looks too much like this. So I'm going to use this side. So I cut this, but do you see how it's fraying? Because this is a synthetic and it's woven. You're welcome, Faith. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate you. And I'm so happy that we got you there. So I'm going to take my lighter and I'm just going to go. I didn't even like put it on there. I just like, you hold the pen close and that will keep it from fraying out on you. It's just easier to work with. See, I'm not even touching it. I'm just holding it close. And so we're going to put a piece of double-sided tape on this. And I use a nice narrow double-sided tape so it just goes right down the center. And I'm going to make it so it's a little bit shorter. It's not going to quite hit the ends. And that way we're not actually sewing through it. It's perfectly okay to sew through the double-sided tape, but I just figure there's less gumming of the needle on my sewing machine. 2 more for Kinetic Lace, you guys. If we can get her to 50 subscribers on YouTube, I'm giving away this kit right here. Giving away a kit that is enough fabric and batting. They are all cut to size, and it has the hardware for you to make 4 key fobs of your own.
And if I can make them, you can make them.
That's right, because this is Noah Gorilla's first go at making key fobs, having not really sewn any type of project similar to this before on a sewing machine. And you're working on your 3rd or 4th one now.
3rd one.
3rd one, and they are phenomenal. Feel free to show those again if you want, so everybody can see how amazing they are.
Well, I figured I would just be mean with that one.
So I'm going to just put my tape right down the center, and I've got a nice gap all the way around it so I won't actually sew through it. Look at that. I love the bats on that. That is so good. So good. You did such a great job on those.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's like a proud mommy moment for me. I feel like a proud mama. It's always so exciting when someone learns how to do something and they do it well. That's even the best. That's the best. You're not just doing it, you're doing it exceptionally well.
We're going rainbow on this one. Should probably see
Yeah.
where's that. Might
Well,
help.
that's the bougie one too, so you gotta use the good goods. It is purty. Okay, so I peeled the paper off that double-sided tape. And because I have this pin, it's gonna hold this nice and straight for me. So I'm just gonna hold the ends of this and I'm gonna eyeball it and just try to center it down. Center it down the strap. There we go. And I feel like that's pretty good. So we're just gonna push it on there real quick. We'll take the pins out. And now we're just gonna do the same thing where we start in the center and we're just gonna sew down the perimeter of this ribbon and back up. Yes, anyone that's coming in, please go over to Kinetic Lace on YouTube and subscribe to her. She only needed, what, 2 more people? We only need 2 more people for her to hit 50 so she can live stream. Yes, 2 more, you guys. If we can get her to 50, I've got a key fob kit we're going to give away as a thank you. As a thank you. So again, I'm going to start sewing right in the center of that ribbon. And then I'm going to sew as close to the edge as I can. Get over there. There we go. Right on the edge of that ribbon. And you can sew in a little bit if you're more comfortable doing that. I just like sewing right along the edge. And the double-sided tape, because this is a woven ribbon, if you're just sewing over it and you don't use double-sided tape, you don't have to. You just have to really concentrate on holding that ribbon still because it will like want to shift and like it waves up on you. But having that double-sided tape down the middle makes a huge difference. Thank you, Keaton. We just need one more then, don't we? Someone give me a count. Keaton, do you stream on, do you multicast onto the Tube of Y for your tutorials? One more to go, you guys. One more. Thank you so much, Keaton. You stream on YouTube? One more for Kinetic Lace, you guys. We're so close. The Tube of Y. You don't multicast your shows. Is it something that you're going to want to do? Because even if you're not sure about it yet, if you start an account, we can get you the followers you need so that if you do decide to do it, we'll be able to watch your videos back later on. So I'm stitching over the end, and then I'm going to stitch down the other side. Yeah, I'm not going to do it for my regular shows. I'm going to multicast for my tutorials because look at those fobs. Those are so good. You guys, if you just came in, this is Nilla Gorilla's first time ever making key fobs or anything remotely like this on a sewing machine. So I would say the student has become the master.
I don't know about that.
Grasshopper.
Thank
Well
you.
done, Grasshopper. Those were fantastic. You did such a good job on those. Look at your stitching. You guys, look at his stitching. So good. It's so good.
Have to show that off.
I know. It's fantastic. Wax on, wax off. Wuzzle, you're hilarious. All right. Kinetic Lace hit 50, you guys. Woohoo! How long, Kinetic, have you been trying to get to 50? I know it's been a while. I know you said you've been trying for a while. I am super excited for you. And I appreciate everybody that's here. Thank you for helping her get there. So this giveaway that I'm going to do right now is going to be this kit right here. And this is thanks for getting Kinetic to 50 subscribers, because now she can multicast and she can stream her tutorials there as well. So this is my thank you for helping with that, as this kit. And then once we finish this key fob, we're going to give this away too. So I'm just going to trim that thread. And I'm going to trim those threads. Somehow I have a stray thread down here because I just throw my threads all willy-nilly. And check the side. I've got my ribbon is sticking out just a little bit farther. I'm going to trim that down too. And I'm going to give that a quick light because I just cut that right there, so I want to make sure I melt the end so it doesn't fray. And then I'm going to fold this in half. I'm going to fold this out in half, and I am going to stitch these ends closed right here. And again, I'm going to start right in the center, and I'm going to back stitch all the way over, and I'm going to do the full width, and then I'm going to back stitch into the center, and I'll cut my threads there again so that those loose threads, after I trim them down, there's still going to be little tails, but that's all going to be trapped inside of the hardware. You won't see any of it sticking out on the ends.
It's the master working right there.
So snappy. Do you see the Nilla Gorilla? Do you see his fobs? They are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Make sure you guys are getting in the giveaway. We got Kinetic Lace to 50 subscribers on the Tube of Y. 50. So this is my thank you gift for everybody working together to make sure she got there. I'm super, super excited. They have all supported me, so obviously I'm going to support them back. So these are my glass breaking pliers. I use these for key fobs. This specific brand has a really nice grip to them. They have a nice weight. And then these are flat. Most of the glass breaking pliers are curved inside, but these ones are nice and flat, so they won't dent up your hardware. And then I'm going to put this in here just like this. You want it to grip right on where those little bends are. Do you see this ridge right here? It's not completely flat. There's like a little ridge there. So when you put it in, you want to make sure it's on that ridge. And then do you see the teeth? There are some little claw-like teeth in there. And a lot of times when you go to just like put the fabric in, depending on the thickness or whatever, a lot of times it will like catch on that and just fold backwards. It won't actually be gripped inside that. So whenever I put my fob in there, I slide it in from the side. And I hold my fingers off to the side so I can just make sure it's centered. And then I crimp it down about halfway. And then I can look at it and make sure it's straight coming out of the hardware, make sure it's not sticking out on the sides. Sometimes it'll be like wonky, it'll be crooked like that, just from shifting while you're like maneuvering, whatever. So this gives you a chance to adjust it before you crimp it down the rest of the way. And that looks pretty good. So again, you want to make sure you're on that ridge. Don't do it about halfway down, because then you're going to end up having a dent that goes right down the center of your hardware. Just go right up on that ridge, squish it down, and then we'll make sure this side is clamped down as well. Just like that. And then we have nice hardware. It's not dented or dinged up. And it is very secure, and that is not coming out anytime soon. all of those fabrics. That is quite the collection of key fobs right there. I have to say you have exceptional taste in fabric. I mean, someone had some
Expensive
taste.
taste.
Oh, we have got 30 seconds left on the giveaway. 30 seconds left on the giveaway. This is for Kinetic Lace, and then after this runs, we're gonna run this one as well as another giveaway. 14 seconds, you guys. We still have 10 people not in there. 9 if you don't include me. If you're in here, if you're watching, if you're hanging out, if you helped, if you didn't help, but you're still in here, 2 seconds, get in the giveaway. Come on, come on, come on. It's pulling. Who's getting it? Who's getting it? Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Kinetic Lace! Woo! Kinetic Lace! Congratulations! Wow! Look at you! That is perfect. Perfect, perfect. You can do a video on how it is to sew along to my tutorial. That would be fantastic. And you can live stream that. That'd be great. I'm so happy you got that. It could not go to a better person. That is super exciting. This is coming to you. I gotta make a little sticker for you. What was that? Giveaway number 5, I think it was. Let me check this real quick. Sold. That was giveaway number 5. I am super excited that you're getting that. They all worked so hard to get you there. You deserve something pretty. You've been working on getting there for long enough. I'm glad we got you. So that's coming to you. And we just finished this one. And so we are going to run this one as our next giveaway. So this will be giveaway number 6. And it is another fob that we made. Thank you guys for hanging out. Are you working on another one there, Josh?
No, I think I'm gonna stop at 3 for right now.
Yeah, you just gonna hang out?
Probably.
Yeah. Well, you did a fantastic job. And I
Well,
definitely think
thank
we should do this again on another tutorial. Let's see how
I
you do.
would be extremely happy to do that. I think it's
Yeah, I will.
fun. It's
I
entertaining.
think the next one I'll give you some heads up on what measurements we're going to be. I'll try and remember to put it in the show notes so you can check in and see like if you need something pre-cut, you have everything ready to go. So it'll just be easier on you.
Sounds like a plan to me. Maybe by then I'll have a tripod too, so it stop just wiggling everywhere.
Right? I know I've got two set up right now just so I don't have to keep moving it because I get it in just the right position, but when I move over here to this table, it's a different height, so I need to have you up higher. And I was like, I'm not gonna keep adjusting this. This is ridiculous. Get in the gorilla crushed it Gibby, that's right. Look at those fobs, you guys. Look at those fobs on the bottom. He's never made fobs before. He's never really sewn anything else, like any type of project like this before. So for him to do these three, hold them all up one at a time because that stitching is like prime stuff. They are so good. Look how good those came out, you guys.
Terrible.
They are so good. And that fabric placement, so good.
I completely stole that idea from you. Because if you look at your mom's, that's pretty much what's showing.
Well, yeah, because I try and
And I was,
center. That's what I was saying. A number of times I've said that, like, it's usually you just center the batting down the fabric, but sometimes there's like a something special on a print that you want to feature. And so that affects that kind of dictates where you put your batting. But those came out so, so good. I'm so proud of you. I
thank
really
you.
am. That's awesome. And then the piece de resistance right there.
Yeah,
So good.
that one's a special one.
That's the good right there. That's the one that started it. I am I am sorry that I avoided you, but I'm not sorry I was not forced to lie to you.
Oh
That's all I'm
no,
gonna say.
I don't know that it could work out any better than what it did. To be honest with you, it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
Because
that's pretty awesome.
she come in with a package, and her I could tell something was up with her face, and I was like, "What is going on?" And she opened it and just slapped it down on my desk, and I was like, "Oh my god." She's like, "You know the worst part?" And I said, "What's that?" She's like, "Everyone was in on it." I was like, "You know what? You're just not a nice person."
We were all in on it, and I was like, "Don't tell him. Don't tell him you have it. Don't tell him you can find it. Just let him be surprised." I was like, I had some like uh some leads I could have sent you, but she sent me that message, and I'm like, "Oh no, no, no. I'm just gonna shut my mouth."
Well,
And then I
she's
really
lucky
had to shut
because
my
I
mouth and not
come
even
real
message you
close to
back. I
buying a
felt like
fat
such a
quarter.
tool not messaging you back and avoiding you because I knew I was gonna have to lie to you and I just couldn't do it.
She's pretty lucky because I almost bought a fat quarter. I even told
Ooh.
Miss Diana I saw one and I was like, the majority of the fat quarters I was seeing was like 50, and I was like, oh my god, she's gonna kill me if I spend that much on a fat quarter. And I saw one that was like 32, and I was like, oh, I really
I
want it.
know. It's not cheap. It is
It is
not cheap.
not.
It is so expensive for those fabrics because they were so good that like people tried to hoard them, but so many people just used it because it was so good. So when you can find it, it's a pretty penny.
That's
So
crazy.
my YTube channel is at Maniac Maker. I just got a message for this, so I'm just gonna say it. It is in the show notes. But when you spell Maniac Maker, there's no special characters or spaces in between. It's all one word. But don't forget the extra I in Maniac because I'm from Maine, so I spell it Mainiac. Um, so if you want to follow me, then I appreciate it. If you want to follow Kinetic Lace, her at is at Kinetic Lace, and it's all one word. And also at Faith Filled Treasures. They both hit 50 tonight. Thanks to you guys because you guys are amazing and we got them up there. And who's gonna get this? My elbow just popped. Chris Cast. You are getting this key fob that we just made.
I love that little skunk on there.
Chris Cast. I need to write that down. Let's give you 6. And put this in a sleeve so it doesn't get dirty. Ah, congratulations. Thanks for hanging out with us. snap that down.
This one right here, Miss Deborah.
And there we go. Chris, this is coming to you. Our subscription skills are amazing. I have to say, we've done a fantastic job. Yes, it's De La Luna Tula Pink fabric. So the top one I can't point to it because I'm not actually there. The very top one, the teal colored one, that print is called Batty. No, up top, up top, up top.
Honey,
That one is called Batty, and the colorway on that is Spirit. Then the one in the center is called Venus, and the colorway on that one is also Spirit. And the one at the very bottom is also called Venus, but the colorway on that one is called Clairvoyant. And they are all from the Tula Pink collection De La Luna. And that one has not been reprinted in like a new colorway of anything. There's no Deja Vu collection of that one yet. So those are all original, all out of print, and all very, very hard to find, very desirable fabrics. There you have it. Thank you, Vanna. She heard that. Oh my goodness. Best Vanna ever. Vanna White got nothing on you.
That's right.
Thank you for hanging out with us. I appreciate you. Draz, are you still here? Do you want to be co-hosted for a few minutes? Who else was in here? Is anybody else streaming or multicasting on YouTube that would like to plug their channel? Sure. All right, Nilla Gorilla. Thank you so much, Josh, for hanging out with us. It's
Thank
awesome
you,
to
ma'am.
see how
I
far you've
appreciate
come in the past 2 hours.
I appreciate your instructions and
You're
such
welcome.
lovely guidance.
Oh, you did such a good job on those.
Well, thank you so much.
You are
Look
welcome.
forward to doing it again.
Yes, definitely. We'll definitely do this again next time. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Draz. Also, like it, swipe it. Are you going to be doing multicasting? I'm going to co-host Draz real quick so we can plug her channel. I know she already has 50, but you can always use more subscribers. The more people who can see it, the more people we can pull over to Whatnot to like actually join in our shows. So I'm going to co-host Draz real quick. Like it, swipe it if you are still here. If you would like to co-host for a little bit, I can do that for you as well.
Everybody.
Welcome in. The crimpers are called glass breaking pliers. Glass breaking pliers. I did have a couple sets in my shop, but I think both of them sold. Hey, Draz, how's it going?
Good.
Hold on.
I'm in my crafting glasses. These are the other ones I wear sometimes. They're like kind of bright.
Those are super cute,
I'm
though.
like, oh, I look weird. I'm in my crafting glasses.
They're not weird. Those are super cute. I like those a lot.
Thanks.
So you're on YouTube. You're Draz as well, right? Is it just
Draz,
at Draz or
Draz on Whatnot.
Draz on Whatnot? Okay.
Yeah, all one word, all lowercase. Draz on
Let's see
Whatnot.
what I have to do.
Yeah. So, yeah, I started multicasting on there about a month ago. I got my 50 and just started multicasting. So I do seller chats.
Yep.
And so I wanted to be able to get on there for that and also for tutorials because I do those little boxy baskets and stuff. And
Those are
so
super cute.
the people that come to my seller chats were like, we need your past shows, once they took those away. So I'm like, okay. So I was like, okay, everybody start subscribing on YouTube because I've been totally neglecting not getting that built up like I should have a year or two ago. But
Right.
that was kind of all of us. We were just kind of like, oh, well, we don't need it, but we do.
I
So,
had zero desire,
yeah,
and I still
same.
don't really care. Like I'm like, and my
Yeah.
husband was like, "Oh, well, if you have music on there, or if you don't have like royalty music on there. Like
Oh, right,
it's like you could make money on there, and I'm like, I don't care about making money on there. I just want people to be
right,
able to rewatch my videos, and that's the only reason I'm doing it. And then my big little boy came down this morning and actually helped me like get it connected so I could actually do it, because apparently you need to ask for permission even if you have
right.
enough subscribers. And I was like, up to 24 hours, I might have to wait until next week. And then it was like instant. It was like a
Oh, good.
seconds later. I was
Yeah,
like,
good.
woo.
Yeah, mine actually, I had to go in and change a couple of settings.
Mhm.
So if you need, once you get your 50, if it's giving you a hard time, go check your settings, because there is a setting where it asks you if any of your content is for kids.
Yeah, we
And
went
if
through all
you
that.
you got to make sure that you say that it's not, so that they don't flag your videos.
Yep.
So I had to do that, and then there was something else I had to do, and mine did take about 24 hours before it finally would go live. So de-archivist has a really good tutorial to help you get it all connected if you're having trouble, and she's got that on YouTube. So it's DEE_archivist. She's here on Whatnot,
Yeah.
and
Oh, no.
she's got a really good tutorial if you need help getting it connected. And Whatnot just published another article about OBS and also about multicasting. So if you go into just the frequently asked questions and type
Mhm.
multicasting or OBS, either of those, if you're trying to figure either of those out, they just published new or updated articles that are really good. So,
So it's really funny that you say that, because that's actually what my son pulled up in
oh, good.
order to find out that we needed permission from YouTube in order to stream as well.
Right.
It was like in that article, and that's what he
Oh, good.
pulled up.
Okay,
So
good.
it went super quick though. It was awesome. I was
Awesome.
like, "Oh, hey guys, I'm doing a test run." I'm like, "I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think we'll be able to do it till next week because we might have to wait 24 hours." And then people were like, "We're watching you on YouTube right now." And I was like, "Oh." And then I
Oh,
had like a little notification pop down. I was like, "Woohoo!" So,
cool. Good deal.
and my little boy's up.
Aw.
Oh, he's calling to me. Hold
Yeah,
on
so
just a
yeah, if
second.
anyone would, I'd love some more subscribers, because everything helps. And I think, just overall for all of us on Whatnot, I think if we can really blow up social media and get more people in, it's going to just help everybody. So, anyone that's selling that has a desire, you know, go ahead and get it started, and we'll all follow you, and we can blow it up. So,
Yep.
totally worth doing it.
Yep. And we'll all support you too. So if you guys are
Yep.
thinking about selling, if you're thinking about multicasting, you know, send us a message before, because not everybody appreciates you being like, "Hey, can I like plug my show?" Not everybody's gonna be super nice about that. Most people won't mind. Most people will want you to do it, but it's nice to get permission instead of
Yeah.
asking on their show, "Hey, can I plug my show? I'm gonna be selling fabric." Well, you just did. I
Yeah.
don't mind. I do it my whole show, but I try to have it not be like a free for all the whole time, and I'll give them shout outs like probably 10, 12 times throughout my whole show. "Hey, if you guys have a show coming up, put it in the chat. Make sure we get you some followers."
Yep.
I'll do giveaways just to get a new seller up to X amount of bookmarks. um, we're here to support you. We will support you, but
Yep.
be polite in how you go about asking for that help if you're going to ask for help. That's all. Because some people are not as forgiving as others, is all I'm going to say. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's embarrassing if you do that and someone kind of is not so nice about it. So, yeah.
yeah, you don't need to be starting off on the wrong foot with someone because you didn't think to go about asking permission for something the right way.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
yeah. Thank you so much, Drez. I
Yeah.
love your
Thanks
seller
for
talks.
doing
I
that.
watched so many when I first started. Huge help. I love
Oh.
them. Uh,
So
I love
I
you.
don't think it'll be quite that severe, but
No.
it's kind of like virtually maybe.
Yeah, through the phone. Through the
Yeah.
phone.
All
All right.
right. Well, have a good night, everyone.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you again, Draz. Remove. There we go. All right. You guys, thank you so much. I'm gonna have to call it quits. We'll see if somebody is on that we can raid because my little boy is waking up and he's calling for mama. Um, good night. How many things we gave away? 4 key fobs. We made 4 key fobs. We gave away a couple of key fob kits because we got a couple of people up to 50 subscribers on YouTube. You are welcome. Thank you for the tip. I appreciate you guys. Yes, and now you guys will be able to rewatch it on the Tube of Why. So I will be posting in my future shows. If you guys have a YTube channel that you want subscribers to, shoot me a message and I'll try and have it in the show notes for my next show. So that way I have my own reminder and I can go through and like try and get you guys up there too. Because tonight we made Kinetic Lace and Faith-Filled Treasures both got up to 50, and Duraz already has 50, but the more the merrier. And then I think the next one that we have is postcards. It was supposed to be on Easter weekend, and I didn't realize that. And someone pointed it out to me, so I rescheduled. And then the one after that will likely be market totes again, so we can get those loaded up to the Tube of Why. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to turn you around so you're not looking at my face the whole time. You can look at my shelves. But we're going to find somebody to raid. I appreciate all of you guys so, so much. No, I'm not messing with the Easter Bunny at all. That's his day. I can't be showing him up by doing like some tutorials and stuff. Come on. So who are we going to go raid? We have Dream Sports, Fabric Frenzy. Do you guys have a preference? Dream Sports only has 3 viewers right now, so I feel like we should go to Dream Sports. Let's go to Dream Sports, you guys. Don't go anywhere. We've got 30 people in here. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Again, make sure you are subscribing on the Tube of Why to @ManiacMaker. Make sure you spell Maniac with the extra I because I'm weird and I'm from Maine. And also Kinetic Lace and Faith-Filled Treasures. Those are all one word. And Draz on Whatnot. And thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate you. I love you. Until next time, have a great night.